for $3.
You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and you know I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection.
And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You gotta try it.
Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other?
Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Raleigh Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
It's been said that when someone you love has Parkinson's, you have Parkinson's.
The Parkinson's Foundation knows that the disease doesn't just affect the diagnosed. It affects everyone who supports and helps care for them.
If you have questions, the Parkinson's Foundation has answers.
We can help you understand the disease
and give you tips for living a better life.
Find your answers at parkinson.org or call 1-800-473-4636. The Parkinson's Foundation. Better lives together.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness. Go to covenanthouse.org.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs
These lights have the most clarity.
and helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty afternoon out there under partly cloudy skies. High temperatures will be comfortable at 70 degrees. And it's not as cold tonight. Temperatures only dip into the mid-50s, but we do have a chance of some scattered showers. We're back to partly cloudy skies, though, on Saturday. It'll be dry for most of the day. Highs in the mid-70s, but a chance of rain Saturday night.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 49 points to 46,962.
He's got Hall with a Blake with a shot. He scores! Oh, what a one-man show from Jackson Blake. Going on a power play. Svechnikov scores! He's starting to heat up. Jarvis back for Walker. He scores! Sean Walker's on a heater. And down Carolina trying to go back to work. They got a 2-on Blake out in front. They score! A tap in for Nick Ehlers. A chance right out. Save Anderson. Follow up Anderson. Robs Tarasenko.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. Canes won last night, but at what cost? The Drive. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. It's a Friday, so we'll be previewing over the weekend 2 hockey games for the Canes, 2 college football games for Triangle teams, 3 college basketball games for Triangle teams, a Panthers football game on Sunday, and I'm sure there's more I'm missing. Full show, full day. Happy to have you starting your weekend with us. And we're going to start the show the same way we always do. That's what the Big 3 at 3. Number 1. Although I should say that was a bad way to start it today. Just like we always do, except for yesterday when we started with the Dave Dorn interview instead of the Big 3.
Just like we always do, except the times that we don't.
Yeah. If you want to see the Dave Dorn interview, up on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. The Big 3 at 3, though, right here, right now. Canes beat the Wild 4-3 last night at home. Game had a little bit of everything. First period had a little bit of everything. Chatfield took a hit that he shouldn't have had to take. dirty, targeting towards the head, whatever you want to call it. You can argue about the referees' decisions or the league's decisions, or you can look at the aftermath, right? You hope that Chatfield doesn't have to miss too much time. You hope he's doing all right. He's that valuable, and he's at a position that has been decimated by injuries already for the Canes back there on the blue line. What you like is Jordan Stahl, no hesitation. Face, meet fist. Took care of business. Paid the consequences in terms of penalty time, but took care of business and did so on the day he became the most tenured Cane ever. Most games in a Cane sweater of anyone in the history of the NHL. Obviously, since the franchise has moved to the Canes, moved to Carolina. And to me, it was the perfect representation of what leadership is. Oh, is this night all about me? I'll go spend 17 minutes in the locker room where no one will even be looking at me because I feel my teammate was wronged. And in hockey, the way you deal with that is exactly how he did. And then there's the other side, right? I like when you're disrespected. If hockey handles things with their fists, cool, you do what you got to do. But I like when you handle it two ways. I like when the response is Jordan Stahl's fighting and Jackson Blake's goal scoring. I like when you feel disrespected, you beat them and then you beat them. Right? You beat them up and then you beat them on the scoreboard, which is exactly what the Canes did to move to 9-4 on the season, 4-1 at home. There's a lot to talk about in that game. Like I said, a lot went on, but in the interest of fulfilling the theme or following along with the storyline that we've been talking about for the Canes for the last however many weeks since these injuries started piling up, every win is worth its weight in gold right now. Every win means you're in a better place when guys come back from injury. Every win means you're setting yourself up for what is really the test for the Canes every year, the postseason. The regular season, you just got to get there. Every win is valuable. Every win by whatever means necessary. And last night was definitely one of those. 4-3, Canes win. It's a big one. Now they get tested in a different way with a back-to-back over the weekend with traveling in between. At home, Buffalo tomorrow. On the road, Toronto on Sunday. For a team that's banged up, I'm sure tired. Seems like, I don't know, every third game, there's a threat that they're going to have to play with 4 defensemen at some point in time. Whether it happens or not, there's that worry of like, oh, geez, these guys are going to have to play 33 minutes.
Yeah, there was a stretch last night with Stahl in the box and then Kotkaniemi serving some of his penalty time and Chatfield out. You had 10 forwards and 5 defensemen.
And then Mike Riley took a shot where he at least was a little bit of worry that he might miss some time, and it was, I don't know. Is there an e-bug for skaters? Because they might need one. But to come out of that game with a win, important, 4-3. That's number one. Let's get to number two.
Number two.
Big weekend for college sports in the Triangle. In fact, we are a NC State football bye week away from kind of like the solstice, where you'd have every men's basketball team, every football team participating in at sometimes really big games. So let's run through a few of them. UNC, Stanford, football, 4:30 tomorrow. This is, like, dare I say, perfect storm for UNC to get back-to-back wins against power conference opponents. You know what Stanford has? The lowest scoring average in the ACC. What's the one thing UNC has been able to hang their hat on the last 3 games?
Defense.
There you go. That might be a matchup, right? Tell the offense you got to score 10. If you get us to double digits, I think we can be all right. And that offense, I mean, they should be able to get 10. As much as you don't trust them to get 25, they should be able to get 10. Duke at UConn, a little bit before that game, actually. It's at 3:30 on the road at UConn. This one's interesting for a lot of reasons. One, UConn is sneaky productive this year. They have 3 losses, all in overtime. But also they have some stats that'll blow your mind. But the other part that's interesting is Duke is playing for gigantic stakes down the stretch here, right? They are the betting favorite, according to FanDuel, to win the ACC. This game doesn't impact that at all, right? It's a non-conference game right as the conference schedule is heating up. They could lose this by 100. If they then win out from that point forward, they likely get to play in the ACC championship. And with the amount of losses they already have, they're not making a CFP or anything, super lofty as far as goals if they don't win the ACC championship. So this is like a weird, really good, tough test that doesn't have a huge impact on the giant goals that they're chasing, other than every coach will tell you play well this week, you're more likely to play well next week, and you want to build momentum and all of those things. On the basketball side of things, we've got a doozy tonight. Number 12, Kansas, at number 25, UNC. That's a big home game for UNC to really for the first time, introduce their squad. Every year over the last, when did Armando Bacot get here? 1974? Since Armando Bacot arrived in Chapel Hill, there was always something super known about a UNC team at the start of the next year. Right, whether it was Bacot and a few others, R.J. Davis, and then R.J. Davis coming in for his neck. There was always something that felt like, all right, we got the gist before they ever stepped on the court. This year, there's a lot of new. I know Seth Trimble is there. A few guys off the bench are there, but they weren't the leaders, right? You get to introduce them. And, oh, by the way, Kansas is a pretty good opponent. NC State hosting UAB. They're favored by 1 billion. And Duke tomorrow will be hosting Western Carolina. I couldn't even find a spread for that game when I did a couple Google searches and checked the sports books that I normally check earlier today. So that tells you about the expectations there. Duke, number 6 in the country, expected to win by a bundle. That's all this weekend. We are in the mecca of college sports, as I call it, and this is one of those weekends. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Carolina Panthers also play this weekend, taking on the Saints on Sunday. You are going to hear me say this a bunch today because it is in direct response to a ton of the conversation around this game for the Panthers. The Saints are not an FCS team. It is crazy how quickly Panther fans have gone from the laughingstock to just completely looking down their nose at another team. Listen, I hope the Panthers win by 30. I think it's possible they win by 30. They have to play their best football to beat anybody by 30. The amount of, well, maybe we can use this game to rest up Rico and save him for the stretch. Maybe we can use this game to spark the passing game. Let Bryce Young get his stats going. There is no tune-up game in the NFL. There just isn't one. I know the Saints traded away Rashid Shaheed. I know that they've gone to their rookie 26-year-old quarterback Tyler Shuck. I know Alvin Kamara hasn't been the guy who he has been in the past. I will say this loudly. You cannot overlook this team. And it's crazy to me that I'm going to have to say this a bunch of times to Carolina Panther fans. This is not the basketball games I just talked about, right? This is not NC State UAB. This is not Duke Western Carolina, where you might think like, hey, our leading scorer hasn't been going. I'm going to call 5 plays for him right out the gate. Let him see a few go through the hoop. Get his confidence up. This is not that. If you want to do that, go have J.J. Jansen line up as a scout teamer and run all over him in practice. That's the long snapper, for those of you that don't know long snappers by name. He was pretty famous for the Panthers. If Rico Dowdle needs to run the ball a bunch, run the ball a bunch. Tedero McMillan popped up on the injury report today with a hamstring. That makes me worried. This is not, oh, thank goodness it's only happening against the Saints. If he can't play, that's a huge part of their offense. I guess you could say it's better the Saints than the Packers if you're just comparing, but it's bad news either way if your best pass catcher by far can't play in a game in the NFL. Lock in. I feel like I should give a pregame speech right now. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number 3. Pregame speech might need a couple goal horns. You know what I'm talking about? Little Rod Brindamore post-game speech. There you go. There's a few of those after the game, congratulating his guys for pulling the win against the Wild last night. And appropriately, it was pretty wild. So we'll talk about that one and the reaction. For all the adversity they faced, I'm starting to really, really respect the way the Canes react this year. I'll tell you what that means next.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. People are looking around their homes right now, and they're saying, I need this, I need this, I need this. You guys do everything for the exterior of your home. How do you keep it from being overwhelming for the homeowner?
Right, Adam. The first thing we do is we come out there, do an assessment with the homeowner. It's a no-obligation estimate, and we can break it up into phases of projects, or if you want to break it up into easy monthly payments, we come out there, give you a good plan. It's no pressure, no obligation, and whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, most of these projects we give you a lifetime warranty on for the rest of your time in the home. And then you can also break it up into easy monthly payments and make it manageable for your budget.
I love manageable. I love easy monthly payments. I love lifetime warranties. Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. These people are amazing. You should check them out online, aluminumcompany.com.
Bank of America is a nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in the Triangle. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
And now Carolina trying to go back to work. They got a 2-on Blake out in front. They score! A tap in for Nick Ehlers. Tap for tap in Carolina. Back in the lead. It's 4-3. Ehlers' second goal with the Canes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. If you watched or were in attendance since it was a home game, of the Carolina Hurricanes Minnesota Wild game last night, I bet you went to sleep. Your hair was disheveled. Your eyes were bloodshot. You felt like you had been on a roller coaster with loops and maybe a little like a log flume at the end, just consistently for at least the first period. Second period may have been more lazy river, but third period more chill. But the first period was bananas.
I don't know. You had 2 goals in the first 50 seconds of the second period.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I kind of considered that like a carryover from the first period.
First 22 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. My point is the game was crazy, right? And there's I wish this is for as bad as it went pretty good. It's a car crash where no one got hurt, right? You wish you didn't get in the car crash, but you're so thankful that nobody got hurt. You wish that they didn't have to face so much adversity early on in that game or so many weird obstacles. You wish Chatfield didn't take a dirty hit and leave the game and not return with the injury. You wish that they didn't give up a couple soft goals early. You wish that they didn't have so much in their way. But for all of that happening, I liked the response to the Chatfield hit. I liked that it seemed this is how I remember it. I was watching the game at home, sitting on my couch. My wife was in the other room. She said, "Let me know when someone scores." And there was a lot of, darn it, they scored. Oh, no, wait, we scored. There was a lot of that, right? I liked how quick those reactions are. Well, who gave up the goal? What happened? Never mind, we scored. It's tied up again. Like, that's how all of our conversations went. And I love that. Right, I love that there was no sulking. I love that Jackson Blake and Andrei Svechnikov didn't even it was just watch this, right? It was here we go. I got it. I thought Adam Gold on Twitter described it pretty well. It looked like Jackson Blake back at North Dakota or whatever he was, right? It looks like he just weaved through everybody. And it's the move that the future pro does in college or the future college stud does in high school. And the coach goes, that's not going to work at the next level. You're going to have to use your teammates. You're going to have to be physical. You're not just be able to weave around everybody because you're a better skater. Jackson Blake, okay, yes, coach, gets to the NHL. I don't know. If they give me space, I can just kind of weave through them and go score, which is exactly what he did. Ties it up 1-1. Brock Faber scores. A handful of seconds later, Andrei Svechnikov has an old-school Andrei Svechnikov goal. And what I mean by that is it has me yelling at my TV, why don't you do that every time, Andrei? Just that, every time. We go weeks without seeing it, but I know you can because you just did. Why not every time, Andrei? When the team needs a spark, that's what you do. I feel like Will Smith in Bad Boys with Martin Lawrence. From now on, that's how you drive, right? That's how you shoot. From now on, that's the sequel. That's what I'm looking for, Andrei. That's what I'm looking for. Sean Walker's, he's on a heater right now. What are you going to do? He's playing really, really good hockey.
He has 3 goals already this season. He had 5 last year.
I mean, is Sean Walker a double-digit goals guy? Like, is that just what he is now? Is it him sensing Gostisbehere's out and this guy's out and that guy's out and there's some oxygen that I can go absorb? Maybe.
Getting plenty of minutes.
But he's playing really well. This is not one of those situations where a guy is super efficient with 12 minutes and you're like, let's see if we give him 15 and then the efficiency drops. No, it's maybe increasing. And then I want to go find the commenter from yesterday when we did our feedback frenzy that acted like we were doing too much talking about Nikolai Ehlers scoring 1 goal. It's just 1 goal. Relax. Yeah, but you don't know what that weight off the shoulders can do for a guy because now 2 games, 2 goals, including the go-ahead goal that ends up being the difference. Was it set up for him nicely by Jackson Blake? Absolutely. But Ehlers had to finish, and he did. I don't love, as I'll say over and over again, I don't love that this team seems to be tested so many darn different ways. But I do really respect how they react to it. Rod Brindamore was asked after the game about having another injury on the blue line, obviously talking about Chatfield, the guy that's been covering for other injuries along with the other healthy D-men. And this is what Rod had to say.
Yeah, injuries anytime, no good, but, it's just the way this year's gone. I just can't get healthy and then keep losing, key pieces. That's rough. And hopefully, I don't know how long he's going to be out, but it was a tough hit.
It's a tough hit. It's a tough one. That is just sometimes when it rains, it pours. You get Keandre Miller back. We talked so much yesterday about how excited I was to see Miller and Chatfield out there in that defensive pairing because I think that has massive potential. It lasted a couple of minutes before Chatfield left for the day, and then Miller was out there, getting in where he fits in, right? Because then he's kind of the odd man out on the pairings left without a partner, and he ends up playing 23-something minutes.
Looked like he didn't miss a beat.
Really good. The only thing that I noticed about him being out is a few times they cut to him on the bench and he just looked like he was a little tired. Just
trying to get that win back.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I noticed. Had a great pass to Jankowski. Jankowski couldn't finish for the goal, but it just shows what Miller can do as a creator. And then Dennis, if I were a superstitious person, I would make you choose a line that needs to perform well every game.
Yeah.
Because yesterday you asked, and we both answered, what line do you want to see play well? What line do you think it's important to get going? And you picked Ehlers, Stankoven, and Blake.
Mm-hmm.
I picked a line that didn't even end up playing at the beginning of the year. They changed it before the opening puck drop. Meanwhile, you picked Ehlers, Stankoven, and Blake. And, great hockey from those 3. Blake led the way, but I thought it was really good from that group. And Rod Brindamore agrees. He thinks that line was the difference.
Blake's probably the one that needs the most credit for tonight. I mean, on both those, the one goal is all him, and then the other one's just a great pass. But yeah, all those three guys are, have that ability, and then, two of those guys especially just hound pucks like crazy and keep getting it back, and can't say enough of the work that they did tonight. That was that's why we won the game.
That's got to feel good. That's why we won the game. And by the way, like I try not to do this, although I do catch myself because there's so many games and you got to work quick. I try not to just care about points. I try not to just go like, hey, Blake and Walker, huge game, because, they're producing points and goals. At one point they put a graphic up, and I thought it was a really good point made by the broadcast. Ehlers was far and away leading the team in just zone entries, right? He's just carrying the puck constantly, using the speed, which is what we talked about in the offseason when they signed Ehlers, that he brings that element that they hadn't had very much, right? Or they hadn't, let's be real, they depended on Martin Necas for that for a long time and hadn't had since he left. Jackson Blake, who's now been on a line with Ehlers for 2 games, talked about playing with Ehlers after the game.
He's just unbelievable. He's a stud. I love playing with that guy. He's so fast and makes really good decisions all the time. And obviously, back-to-back goals is, it's really big for him. And he's been solid all year. And then to play with him and obviously, like you said, Stanks too, I think we can build some serious chemistry and hopefully be a really good line.
I said it yesterday. I'll echo it today. I might even prefer it. I was going to say I would not mind. I think I would prefer the way they've played and the potential I think they've shown if those 3 are on a line in the most important games of the year this year. I'll be the first to say that I thought Ehlers on the top line had the potential to kind of complete the top line, but the first 2 months are about gaining information. With the new information I've learned, Stankoven centering Ehlers and Blake looks mighty fine to me.
Yeah, they were super effective all night last night.
And obviously Ehlers is a bit more like he is what he is, right? He's in the prime of his career, a little bit older, but he's going to keep getting more comfortable in Carolina with their system, with their players. So I think his improvement is obvious. And the other two, what are we talking, like redshirt seniors? Is that what we're talking here?
Age-wise, yeah.
They're these are very young players who are only going to improve. So if they can be as effective, even if it's not every night, if it's decently consistent enough, as effective as they were last night, with room to go up, that's something that intrigues me a whole bunch.
The way that Blake and Stankoven are able to win board battles and hold on to pucks and come out with loose pucks, along the wall, and just the way they're able to obviously their skating ability, all 3 of those guys can skate extremely well and are very fast. Like you mentioned, Ehlers is one of the fastest guys out there on the ice every single time he steps out there. And just the chances they're constantly creating, just left and right.
And this almost every Canes conversation comes down to, at some point, height and weight. They're not the biggest line in the world. Stankoven plays, I would say, much heavier than he is.
Yeah.
He's more stout. Blake is fearless. I board battles, any situation, he'll mix it up. And Ehlers gives me like Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote vibes. Like meep, and he's off.
Good luck catching him.
Exactly. It's like, if you catch me, this could go bad for me. But meep, and he's gone. They call him Fly, right? It makes sense. So there's a lot to like once you get by the obstacles that were put in the Canes' way early in that game. At some point, you hope they're going to stop having so many obstacles in their way. But, control what you can control, move on, react the right way, and I thought they did that. And they'll have to do that again this week. Or this weekend, I should say. Back-to-back with traveling in the middle, with an already beat-up team, already tired, having to play a bunch of minutes for certain guys. It's not ideal, but control what you can control, react the right way, let the chips fall where they may. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, for a little bit more into that game, the win for the Canes. We'll have 2 minutes of gold with Adam Gold, breaking it down when we come back, and the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
It's football season, and let's be honest, your living room doesn't have award-winning wings, a massive beer selection, and over 50 TVs. Carolina Ale House does. We were recently voted one of USA Today's 10 best sports bars, and we need you to help us celebrate. Come get in on this legendary game day experience. Bring your crew, bring your appetite, and get loud with us. Don't fumble your game day plans. Come watch the games at Carolina Ale House. Ale yeah.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've said it many times before. You've probably heard me say it. My journey with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, it's been a good one so far. In 3 months, or just over 3 months, I've lost 42 pounds. Thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I'm on my way to 50. That's the goal. I'm trying to hit 50 pounds lost thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And in my experience of the 3 months with Raleigh Weight Loss Center, I know I can hit it because they have a plan for me to follow. And they have a plan for not only for me to lose the weight, but keep the weight off. It's all about resetting and restarting your metabolism. No shots, no injections, no HGH, no steroids, no side effects. Just your body doing the natural thing. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call to get your questions answered. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As here's Dominic Sarr in the front court. Kicks it back up top. Evans again. Got it again. Oh, he's on a heater. His fourth three. He's got 12. And the lead grows to 5.
The Drive. Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. College sports in full swing, which means it should be a fun Dean's List. But before we transition for a little bit to the college side of things, I want to make sure you get a little extra insight, a little extra reaction to the Canes' win over the Wild last night, 4-3 at home. And for that insight, we go to our very own Adam Gold from here at 99.9 The Fan with what we call 2 Minutes of Gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for two players who each had 2 points as the Hurricanes picked up 2 points in a thrilling, wild win, 4-3 over Minnesota. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers. At Parkway Sleep, they will help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve. And what we all deserve is to have a skill like Jackson Blake when he's got the puck.
Now Jackson Blake going away from Kaprizov. He's got Hall with him. Blake with a shot. He scores! Oh, what a one-man show from Jackson Blake, and he ties it at 1.
That was something straight out of the Hobie Baker songbook. He treated 4 Minnesota Wild players like they were traffic cones. It was awesome. That made it 1-1. And then at 3-3, right after the Wild had tied it early in the second period on a power play goal, Blake finds his new line mate, Nick Ehlers, for the lead.
And now Carolina trying to go back to work. They got a 2-on Blake out in front. They score! A tap in for Nick Ehlers. Tap for tap in Carolina. Back in the lead. It's 4-3. Ehlers' second goal with the Canes.
9 seconds after the Boldy goal that tied it, Blake found Ehlers, and Carolina is back on top. That's where it ended. The game got normal after that, which was great considering what it was, completely inebriated for the first 21 minutes. And then Sean Walker, who scored the goal to give Carolina a 3-2 lead, went to work on the defensive end.
Kept in by Rossi. Sent it cross back for Kaprizov, and it's kept out by Walker. Oh, what a play by Sean Walker.
Oh, my gosh. Highlight reel. That puck should have been cleared. What a play by Walker.
I cannot express just how good Sean Walker has been defensively. He is playing 7 more minutes a night this year against top forwards than he was last year against bottom 6 wingers. It is an incredible development for the Hurricanes. Sean Walker has arguably been their MVP. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off to have a skill like Blake and a player like Sean Walker.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Adam touched on something there that built into the theme I had of reacting to obstacles. I think it's pretty impressive what Freddie Anderson was able to settle down into because that beginning of the game was not great for Freddie. So much so that I was looking. I was seeing, is someone putting their helmet on the bench? Like, what are we looking for? And then he ended up settling in, making some saves. So builds into that facing obstacles and finding a way to come out on the other side of it in a positive way. Now, let's come out on the other side of 2 minutes of gold and head straight into the Dean's List. The Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise. We'll start with a mandatory. Somebody's been added to an award watch list. This time, Justin Jolie has been named a semifinalist for the John Mackey Award, which is presented to college football's most outstanding tight end.
Nice.
Obviously, had the long touchdown catch a couple of games ago, didn't play this past game. Scored the touchdown despite obviously something up with his leg, limping and dragging it as far as he could and into the end zone. I'll say this about Justin Jolie. He's a semifinalist for the John Mackey Award, so obviously he's having a good season. I think there's still, from a production standpoint, a lot of meat on the bone that he can go grab. Part of having such a diverse group of pass catchers where there's so many different options of guys that can make plays. If he were on an offense that didn't have 3, 4, 5 wide receivers that could kind of pop off at any time and 2 running backs that are worthy of 20-plus carries, he may be a much more prolific stat tight end. But either way, still impressive to be a semifinalist for the John Mackey Award. Next up, this is a baller move. Yeah, we'll talk about it. Caleb Wilson, the freshman for UNC. You might find out something about like how much sway, how much power you wield by going full I'm gonna just do it mode. He just tweeted out that it was gonna be a whiteout tonight. The school denied it, essentially. The school put out a statement saying, like, wear whatever you want, just be loud. Our very own Brian Murphy, WRAL sports investigative reporter from Air Capital Broadcasting, reached out to the school, and they confirmed that it was not a whiteout tonight. And so many people reacted basically saying, no, if Caleb Wilson says it's a whiteout, that it's pretty much not going to be a whiteout tonight for Kansas at UNC tonight. That's a baller move. Just be a player and go, you know what? Some people suggested whiteout might be cool. I'm going to, yes. It's like, I don't know if you have the ability. I said yes. All right, fine. We'll do a whiteout.
All right, deal.
Fans, if you're going to the game, wear some white.
There you go.
Just funny when you're that good.
Caleb Wilson said so.
Caleb Wilson should try next time. Be like polka dot night. Just see how much power he has.
You know,
everybody dress as a superhero night. Like, just see what themes can he get going. It's Star Wars night. They're like, it's not May 4th. No, it's Star Wars night.
I know sometimes high school football, which, by the way, high school football playoffs start tonight here in the state of North Carolina. They'll do basically like the neon colors.
Yep.
Basically look like a pack of highlighters. I've seen that a bunch of high school games. Do that. Just Caleb Wilson. Yeah, everyone wear neon tonight.
Why not? Toga night.
People would do it, too. People would get into it.
Absolutely. If he says it, especially if they win tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, all right, now we have to listen to Caleb. He could be our fashion designer. Speaking of the high school playoffs, walking in today, just like from the car to the office, we like our parking lot. The leaves are changing. We have big trees up. They're a little crisp in the air. I was like, it's a football day. And I was like, oh, and it's Friday. Oh, goodness, it's a high school football Friday. Somebody, when I got in here, reminded me that the playoffs started today. I was like, of course they are. I didn't even have to know that. You just walk in and you're like, it's a football day. Good luck to everybody around the state playing high school football playoff games. You're in the glory days. Try to understand that. Do you have any Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out here, Dennis?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Even though it's not a fun story.
Oh.
But Dylan Mingo, a high school basketball recruit, he's a 5-star. He's the number 2 recruit, depending on where you look, in the class of 2026. So one of the top college prospects in the 2026 basketball class was supposed to come actually to UNC this weekend. Flight got canceled because of all the government shutdown. There's been a restriction on the amount of flights and stuff. So his flight got canceled. But you know what? Not his fault. I'll still put him on the Dean's list.
Dealing with travel is normally awful.
Yeah.
Throw in a few extra wrenches in that system. I don't envy anybody that has to travel right now.
Nope.
Hopefully you can make it, though. If you want to check out the campus, if you want to make the best decision for you, hopefully he doesn't have to do it all by Zoom.
Jump on that train.
Yeah. I have by any planes, trains, and automobiles. Shout out John Candy. Last one for you. I just want to give a shout out. This is not even really locally tinged, although it kind of relates indirectly to all of the schools. Rhett Lashley of SMU, their head coach, was on Sirius XM. Went on like a 2.5-minute monologue about the CFP. One of the more measured, like realistic, solid takes I've heard from anyone on the CFP. He advocated for expanding it a little bit. He advocated for settling things on the field and taking opinion out, and he understood why certain things were going the way they were going. It was just well said, and the reason why I wanted to point it out is because I was I was listening to it, and I was waiting for the point when he was going to turn it to, and that's why SMU should get in, right? Because normally you talk to a coach, and it's just they're competitive people, right? They want a seat at the table. So they start with like the virtues of the competition, and then it ends with, that's why the rule should change here. And when you apply that rule, it's like, oh, that's how your team ends up the 5th seed. I couldn't really find, like, he would be setting SMU up to be on a level playing field with everything he said with everybody else, which I respected. So just want to give him a little hat tip here in the Dean's List.
Just signed a contract extension recently.
He's a good coach. He's one of those quintessential Texas offensive coaches that, probably been playing 7-on-7 since he was like in diapers. What was his first words? Post corner? Roll it to one high?
Waggle?
Yeah. His first words were, Omaha! Ready, wide 90.
Read the safety.
There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Dean's List. Let's dismiss it. And let's talk about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. The technicians at Maynard Service Company, so knowledgeable, so well-trained. The knowledge, the information they need to fix the things that go wrong in your house feels so ingrained within them. I wouldn't be surprised if some of their first words weren't like, check the coolant, weren't, well, let's turn the water off. Like if their first words weren't something to do with heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. And they're often trained in all of them. And if not, they have expert technicians that are readily available at Maynard Service Company that can come in and work to their expertise, right? The thing I love about Maynard Service Company, or one of the many things I love about Maynard Service Company, is it feels like the perfect blend of old school and new. Right, I think everybody longs for like the sitcom in the 50s where everybody had a handyman, right? Where no matter what broke on the house, no matter what broke on the car, you just called the same one. Hey, Joe, can you come over and fix it? But also, we love the modern luxuries, right? We love the air conditioners. We love all the refrigerators that are crazy. We love all the cool stuff that we have. Well, Maynard Service Company blends them both, right? You may not be calling Joe, your handyman. You're calling Maynard Service Company, your service company, and all the computers and technology that go into keeping your house running the way you want, they can fix it all. It's just one number, just one call. And that number is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Service the entire triangle. That's all of Wake County and 50 miles in any direction. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Visit them online as well, MaynorServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. A couple of college football teams in the triangle will be underway, will be playing this weekend. UNC looking to string wins together as they take on Stanford, and Duke at UConn. It would be an elite basketball matchup. Also, pretty darn good football matchup. Stick around, coming up next.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we've served veterans and their families for over 90 years, and we continue to serve over 2 million veterans because their contributions inspire our service. And this Veterans Day, we want to tell you that when you're a member, you'll have access to exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools. Plus, we're partnering with Travis Manion Foundation's Veterans Day of Service campaign, connecting veterans and families of the fallen with local volunteer opportunities. Become a member at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Wake in a hurry. Fake handoff right and scampering left by himself. Untouched into the end zone, the quarterback.
Wake Forest football returns to a Legacy Stadium on Saturday, November 15th to battle it out with Big Four rival North Carolina. Limited tickets remain. Order yours today at godeeks.com/tickets. We'll see you at a Legacy Stadium on Saturday, November 15th as the Demon Deacons take on the Tar Heels. Go Deeks.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Sharky's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Sharky's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Sharky's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
Snap at the Georgia Tech 31. Bailey, handoff. Scott sees Park, sprints 20. Duke Scott 10, touchdown! Deal sealer, Duke Scott. 31 yards down the near sideline. NC State's going to upset 8th-ranked Georgia Tech, and Carter Finley loses its mind.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That win by NC State could greatly help Duke Duke football. Also, I have to give a shout out to Stephen Thompson, who covers Pitt athletics for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. So the ACC is a jumbled mess right now. We've talked about it, right? There's 5 or 6 teams with 1 loss or less in conference. The team that's undefeated in conference has lost to a team from the conference just in a non-conference game. So many of the teams still play each other down the stretch that are in the mix. So there's a lot of different ways that could happen. Stephen Thompson from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, I guess, went through and played out all the scenarios, and he highlighted 2 scenarios that could still happen. Okay, so if certain games are won and lost in a certain combination, you ready for this? UNC could still make the ACC championship. Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't understand it, but he draws it all out, puts the whole thing up there.
I'm sorry, just
Yep.
repeat that one more time.
So they could still make the ACC championship.
They being UNC?
Yep. I'm not even going to try to explain it. It would take like 100 different games going exactly one particular way. Or this could also happen, where week 13, NC State at Florida State could determine whether Pitt plays in the ACC championship game or not.
That's wild.
Like there's so many crazy things that could happen. So, any coach would tell you, and I will echo what any coach would say, just win your games and like your chances. right? There's so much out of your control. Just win the games that are on your schedule and let the chips fall where they may, right? You can't pick who you play. You can't pick when you play them. Just go out there and find a way to win. That's my advice to the teams at the top of the division, top of the conference. UNC, even if it's mathematically possible, it ain't happening, right? But they can build some momentum. Ready for this? I think UNC football has an identity. Right? We talk a lot about teams needing to know what they major in, teams needing to know what they do best. I call it knowing your 7-iron. Right, because in golf, at least Tin Cup, for those of you that have seen the movie, right, when you can't control anything, when you're putting them in the woods, you're dropping them in the water, you're shanking them, you're duffing them, you're whiffing, at least you know you always hit the 7-iron well, right? Go to the 7-iron. Get your feel back. Well, UNC finally has that. Defense and conservative offense. Right, the last 2-3 weeks, Cal, Virginia, obviously the win over Syracuse, the defense has been stellar. The win over Syracuse is exactly what I thought a win over Syracuse would look like for them. The offense scored more points than you expected, but I think that's because they were under the impression they only had to give you 21. Right? When you're trying to score 35, sometimes you back yourself into a corner and score 7. But if you're trying to score 17, sometimes you stumble into it and score 24. Like if you're just trying to always take the safe play, never put your defense in a bad spot, just nickel and dime your way down the field, occasionally you overshoot a little bit. But the win over Syracuse, to me, that's plan A, right? That's what you're hoping for UNC. And then you get Stanford this weekend, which I don't know if this is a fact. I don't know, if there's an obvious one I'm missing. This has to be the matchup with like most NFL wins on the sidelines in college football history, right? Frank Reich against Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick winning a billion trillion games. Frank Reich having a nice solid career, mostly with the Colts, but a little bit. Did he win a game, 1 or 2 with the Panthers? Did he go 0 for 11? He wasn't 0 for 11.
No, he won 1.
Yeah, there you go. So it adds to the total. Yeah. You got a lot of NFL people on the sidelines is what I'm getting at here. Unfortunately, for both teams, hasn't added up to much offense. UNC's offense, not great. Stanford's somehow worse. 17.8 points per game, dead last in the ACC for Stanford. If you come into a team that's averaging under 18 points per game, and you have a defense that's already telling their team, like, listen, we'll hold anybody to 20 points or less if that gives us a shot. How low does the expectation go for Stanford's offense? 10? Can you realistically look at UNC's offense right now and say, if you give us 4 field goals, we win? That's plan A for UNC. I don't think they have a plan B. I don't think they have a what happens if Stanford scores 21 in the first half. I don't think they have an answer for that. They can't afford that. That's a luxury that's out of their price range right now based on their roster. But they can darn sure do everything they possibly can to make plan A work. Defense and whatever you can squeeze out of your offense, especially against a team like Stanford. And if you do, suddenly, back-to-back wins. Power 5 wins, Power 4 wins, whatever it is. Watch out. Duke, on the other hand, they're going to UConn. It's tomorrow at 3:30. I've said Duke basketball a few times, Freudian slip talking about this one. Duke basketball plays tomorrow. I have an idea for this one. Duke and UConn seem to be playing football against each other like every year, right? I remember they played once when Cooper Flagg was visiting UConn.
Yeah, that's right. That was a couple years ago.
And then last year, I believe they played. This year, they're playing again. I have an idea.
Okay.
Rivalry trophy.
All right.
But it's a reverse rivalry trophy. The winner doesn't take it home. The loser takes it home. And it says basketball school.
Ha! Okay.
So you have to, like, oh, man, I guess we're a basketball school. We lost to and the trophy just says basketball school. So instead of you run, like, after the game, you grab it, you hold it up. After the game, you run, you grab it, you run, and put it on the other team's sideline. A reverse rivalry trophy. Because if they're going to play against each other a whole bunch, they are, I mean, you can't argue with it, 2 of the best basketball schools in the country.
No, very much so.
I'm just saying, add a little sizzle to it. I like when college rivalries become a thing a little bit more than we just want to win for our CFP, resume. Like I like when there's a little extra. So I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, neither will ever agree to it because they never want to admit that their basketball teams are good. But it's just an idea, trying to think outside the box here. The other part that's interesting about this game, and I said it earlier, is Duke is the betting favorite to win the ACC by actually a decent amount of odds difference on FanDuel. The betting favorite to win the ACC. That's not impacted at all, meaning their actual chances of winning the ACC by this game. Right? It's conference record that decides who makes the ACC championship, and this is not an ACC game. So this game matters as far as are you playing well and you want to win every game and bowl eligibility and all these other things, but lose this one, you could technically, again, with all these different scenarios, go win the ACC championship still. So what are you looking for? Obviously a win, don't get me wrong, but I'm interested in this chase that Duke has for the complete game. And Manny Diaz brought it up yesterday when we talked to him here on this show. If they can take the defense that played against Georgia Tech and the offense that played against Clemson, they really got something there. Now that is not possible, right? You can't do that, but it's something we've been talking about with Duke as well, which is if they ever put it together, which is a big if, but if they ever put it together, if Terry Moore can return, if Chandler Rivers is playing great, if Vincent Anthony Jr. is getting after the quarterback like he was early in the year, if the offense continues leading the country in passing yards, and if the running game with Nate Shepard can get going, and if, they got something that wouldn't only be a threat to win the ACC, they probably wouldn't want to be a team you'd face in the first round of the CFP, right? They'd be the spunky 12 versus 5 in March Madness. They'd be a team that you don't want to see. But you got to put it together, right? Then none of that is guaranteed. None of that is possible. Potential plus $8 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks or whatever they cost now. I don't drink coffee. Like potential doesn't get you anything, but they have it, right? Potential unfulfilled is an insult. They have potential though, and I liked Coach Diaz's answer yesterday when I asked him what surprised him, what he's learned about his quarterback Darian Mensah and showing up for out of the transfer portal. And he goes, it was really how quickly he got everything settled. That's what surprised him. And I agree. How quickly Darian Mensah out in the passing game out of the gates played very well is surprising. But you know what else it does? It raises expectations. Right? If you started off playing C football in the pass game, playing A football now would be whoa. If you started off playing A- football, well, I'm going to need 99 out of 100 by now. I still need you to be doing significantly better because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Yeah, you can't go from A- to B+.
Exactly, and
which
be happy
is still
about
really,
it.
really dang good.
Yeah, you can't be happy about it. So I'm looking forward to Duke continuing to pursue a complete game, and if they catch the right team, if Virginia catches Duke in a complete game, which would be, I believe, the game after UConn.
Yeah.
Virginia can get got. You know what I mean? And that would be a huge win for Duke.
And Virginia's been flirting with losses in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, UNC amongst them.
Yep.
Overtime. Just thinking, Duke might. It's so funny because right now we could say they're the betting favorite to win the ACC. You could say, I like their chances. They have all this potential. If you told me they finished 8th in the ACC, I'd go, all right. If you told me they won it, I'd go, all right. It's that wide of a range of outcomes from this point forward for so many teams. We have football 4 coming up next. There's so much going on. College football is going on and pro football. Latest on a key injury that just popped up for the Panthers. Next.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Every season can be punishing for your roof. Mother Nature is a fierce opponent that doesn't take a break, which is why you need RoofWorks on your building maintenance team. Hi, this is Holly from RoofWorks. We specialize in keeping your commercial roof in great condition no matter what the issue may be. We offer roof inspections, roof repairs, and if needed, a full roof replacement. We help determine if there's a problem with your roof and advise you on the most cost-effective way to handle it. Contact us today at roofworks.com. That's WERKS.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty afternoon out there. We'll see partly cloudy skies with a high of 70 degrees. Overnight tonight, temperatures are warmer. Highs only in the mid-50s, but we have a chance for rain overnight. That rain is out of here by Saturday, though. We'll see partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-70s. We will see some rain again Saturday night and Sunday afternoon.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 69 points to 46,981.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's obviously a lot of good and bad news that you get throughout an NFL season if you're a fan of a team. There might not be anything more of a gut punch than the random practice injury. Right? You make it through a game on Sunday, most physical sport, all these big hits, and you're like, all right, we're mostly okay. Randomly on a Thursday or a Friday, it's like, why are they on the practice injury report? Well, some of that happened with Tetero McMillan today. After not being on the injury report earlier this week, popped up today with a hamstring for the latest on their 8th overall pick and number 1 wide receiver, Tetero McMillan. Here's the head coach, Dave Canales.
Something popped up in practice, so we shut him down for part of it. He was able to take a few reps, but precautionary. We'll look at him again tomorrow morning, though, just to make sure that he's ready to go.
Any serious concern, or you feel pretty optimistic?
Concern, certainly. So we'll just take a look at him tomorrow and see where he's at, hoping he can go.
Now, that's it in his own words. You heard pretty much all the context, the follow-up, and everything. That's the most optimistic guy I've ever heard talk to the media. That guy, you punch him in the face, he's going to go, I'm looking forward to the shade of black eye because I've been wanting to try that makeup routine. I don't know.
Great opportunity to punch you back.
Yeah, he's the most optimistic. Him saying concern, I didn't know he knew that word. So we're
That's like a 4-letter word for Dave.
Yeah, how funny would that be if he said concern and it bleeped? They're like, what'd he say? Oh, he just said concern. It doesn't bleep when you say it. It only bleeps when he does. It would be a huge loss. I'm not going to say they're not going to play him. Maybe they play him, but it's a bit of a decoy. Maybe it truly was, he was a little dehydrated, so he got tight. I don't know. There's a million range of things. Maybe it's a little scar tissue. I had hamstring problems my entire career, and that was always the lie the trainer and me told each other, right? When I'd tweak it, come in there, be like, can I go back to practice? They're like, I don't know. What do you think it was? Well, it hurt. Was it bad? Maybe it's just some scar tissue from the last time you pulled it. Maybe just ripped some scar tissue. Okay, I'll go out there and try again. Always. Like, nope, it hurt.
By the way, hamstring injury, in case we didn't make that clear. Hamstring injury
I said
for
hammy.
McMillan.
I said hammy.
Okay. But I just want to make sure that's what everyone knew. T-Mac's dealing with that.
We'll see.
If I remember correctly, in the preseason, he had a hamstring injury. He didn't play in that third preseason game, if I remember correctly.
I mean, if we just want to,
or even the second one,
like let's put our reckless speculation hats on there. Maybe it's something to do with tall receivers. I feel like Mike Evans is always dealing with hamstrings. If I'm not mistaken, AJ Green had some hammy stuff throughout his career. Maybe just longer levers. I don't know. I don't pretend to be a trainer or a bio anything. But my point is this. That's a really important piece of the offense. The passing game has not been anything to write home about for the Carolina Panthers this entire season. But the reason why it hasn't been even worse than it has been is because Tetairoa McMillan gets open. Right? Maybe my biggest pleasant surprise of the draft class. And there's been some pleasant surprises of that draft class. But maybe my biggest pleasant surprise is that he's been able to separate. He's been able to create space between he and the defense. I knew that he was going to be able to use height and strength and all those things. He had a great contested catch this past game early on, right? Just basically, if the pass would have been intercepted, I wouldn't have been like, that's on the receiver. But he reached around, strong hands, grabbed it, ripped it away. Right? I knew he was going to be able to do that because of size and strength. I wasn't 100% sure he would create large amounts of separation, and he's done just that. So without him, I mean, a passing game that's already probably 3 steps behind takes another step back. Now, who would step in? Is this a Hunter Renfrow opportunity? Dave Canales talked about having Hunter Renfrow available.
I'm so glad Hunter's here. Just the way that he goes about his work, what he's been, his reputation speaks for itself. And, the way that he works and the way that he's focused and locked in, it really affects the group in a positive way.
That's the Dave Canales we're used to. That's the optimistic Dave Canales I want to see.
I feel great about playing football right now.
Yeah, so does Hunter Renfrow. Looking at the game as a whole, and by the way, like limited or whatever he was today at practice on a Friday does not mean he's not playing. Does not mean he might be impacted 0, right? He might be normal Tetairoa McMillan out there. So let's not cross bridges before we get there. Looking at the game as a whole, this is, the way I said it earlier, this is not an FCS team to a power conference contender. The Saints are not a good NFL team, don't get me wrong. But that's relative to other NFL teams, right? They're still paid. They still have professionals over there. They still have, it's not like nobody on the Saints would start for the Panthers if the teams combined. The Saints will catch you if you don't play your A game. Now, what is your A game for the Panthers? We know what their A game is. The blueprint, the plan A. It's D&D. It's Dowdle and defense. And I would argue there's actually there's really no excuse this week that plan A doesn't work. Right? Because if you went into the Packers game last week and you had a hard time running the ball, I'd be like, well, they have Rashawn Gary, they got Micah Parsons, okay. Right? If the defense gave up a couple of big plays, I'd go, you know what? Jordan Love, from an efficiency standpoint, Josh Jacobs, like they've got some dudes that they're going to catch you sometimes. This week, looking at the Saints, they are worse against the rush than they are against the pass, and they're a bottom third of the league defense. That should play right into what the Panthers want to do, right? A team that's not a good rush defense up against a team that, when they give the ball to Rico Dowdle a bunch, that's their best version of themselves. The defense. Should the defense be able to keep up the defense half of defense and Dowdle? Yes. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they're up against a 26-year-old rookie in Tyler Shuck. Because you're up against a team that just traded away with Rashid Shaheed. Because Juwan Johnson is slowed way down for the Saints after being off to a little bit of a hot start early on. Because they sold at the deadline. So I'm not one to sit here and advocate for the Saints are so bad that you can master all these side quests. Right? It's I don't play a ton of video games, but I get the idea of side quests. Right? It's there's the main goal: go beat the level, beat the boss, whatever it is. And there's a little you can go do this for a little extra experience points, a little extra health, a little extra money, whatever it is. I'm not there with the Panthers. Go win the level. Right? Go beat the boss. Go win the game. Don't go into it with win the game and save hits off Rico Dowdle. Win the game and get Bryce Young, 4 long touchdown passes because you're playing a bad team and you can build his confidence and you want his stats to look good. No. Win the game and be happy about it.
Stick to the main storyline.
Now, the one caveat I would say is if you don't plan for this, but if you get up big, right? You get up 3 scores, and it's obvious you've already seen the will and life drain from the Saints' eyes. If you get up by a bunch, then you can change the way you operate. Right? Then if you want to go back-to-back drives with Chuba Hubbard to take some wear and tear off Rico Dowdle, fine. Right? If you're up 3 scores and you're comfortable with the way your defense is playing, if you want to try a few more risks through the air to see if Bryce can get rolling, fine. But guess what? That's not Saints specific. That's if you get up 3 scores on anybody, you change the way you operate, right? And you make sure that you're keeping guys fresh, and you make sure that anything you need to work on gets ironed out. That's football. That's sports. But you don't plan for it. You don't put that cart in front of the horse. The Saints, you hope you can beat them by a bunch. But guess what? I hope you can beat the Packers by a bunch. I hope you can beat the Falcons by a bunch the next week. You hope you can, but you plan for, you're playing an NFL team, and you're going to have to execute for 4 quarters the entire game to get a win. I do not want everybody, say they beat the Saints by 7. And Rico Dowdle has to have 24 carries and 3 catches. And Bryce Young throws for 125 yards, which is that's kind of what a good win by the Panthers have looked like over the last 6 weeks. Right? Rico Dowdle, workhorse, defense plays well. Bryce Young throws for under 150 yards or 170 yards, that kind of deal. If that happens, I don't want anybody coming in calling up on Monday, sound off all disappointed. I want everybody calling in saying that's exactly how the Panthers want to play. They were able to control the game and put the Saints into their own tempo, meaning make the Saints play Panthers tempo, and they won the game. I was listening to a podcast with Chris Long, right, former UVA guy, obviously multiple-time Super Bowl champion, edge rusher, and he was talking about the Panthers-Packers game. And he was doing a little of the thing that every underdog that's ever won a game hates, right? Which is acting like it wasn't the Panthers doing something, it was the Packers shooting themselves in the foot. But then he came around to the Packers let the Panthers control the tempo. And that right there was all I needed. I don't care what else led to that. If you play a team and you control the tempo, if they're letting you, if you're forcing them, who cares, right? You don't correct them if they want to play your tempo. If they want to take a 9-play or a 9-minute drive like the Packers did and fumble it down in the red zone, would you expect the Panthers to get in there and say, I would like to force you to play a slower game, so we'd like you to score fast so we can have a 9-minute drive? It's like, no, whatever shortens the game, it shortens the game for you, and that's what the Panthers want to have happen. They want less drives, they want Rico Dowdle, and they want defense. How they get there, I do not care. I don't think the Saints will do that, though. I don't think you're going to get 9-minute drives of them bleeding the clock because, well, I don't think they can do that. But also they have Kellen Moore, and he likes to get it up and rolling. Put every bit of the same amount of attention that you put into the Packers, into the Saints, I like your chances. You treat the Saints like they're some kid brother that you got drawn in the first round of a tournament, and it's the 1 seed versus the 32 seed. You're going to get beat.
Don't drink your own Kool-Aid.
And it's way too early to even have to be. You don't have a Kool-Aid, Panthers.
That's true. You don't.
You're 1 game above 500 at the midway point for the first time in years. We haven't even started mixing Kool-Aid.
Give Rico Dowdle his pickle juice.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. IVs. Tell him start drinking water now.
Salt tablets.
All of it. We used to call them brews. When you walked by the trainer, if you had cramped in at any point that season, you had to drink a brew. It was in a little Dixie cup. It was just salty, gross slush water.
Ugh.
It was awful.
No, thank you.
And but it's better than cramping. Cramping is the worst. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we return, speaking of the Panthers, we have the Panthers paw print. That's 2 players to watch. I'll give you my 2. Dennis will give you his 2. 2 that the game might pivot on. Important, pivotal players for the Panthers. Next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I know the Blue Devils have 3 losses, and for the most part, they have been their own worst enemy. They really should have beaten Illinois. I know what the final score looked like, but they really blew that game and then turned it over like it was part of the game plan in the second half. And I thought that led to the Tulane loss. They should have beaten Georgia Tech. If they win out, they're going to Charlotte. They could win the ACC and be in the playoff. That would be crazy.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
At Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford, we've got 3 great brands under one roof and deals that will get you in the driver's seat today. We've got the perfect new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for you. Family owned for over 70 years, we treat you like one of our own with friendly service, honest deals, and a commitment that keeps our customers coming back. Plus, state-of-the-art service and collision centers to keep you rolling. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC. Visit us in Sanford or at wilkinsoncars.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Andy's coming, everybody! Back to your places, hurry! Get to your place, Where's my ear? Who's in my ear? Did you see my ear? Out of my way! Here I come! Oh.
The name is Dalton.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Do you know something I don't know about the quarterbacks?
No, I just had to bring an old one back.
Because that's all about Andy Dalton.
It was. I just wanted to bring an old one back.
Okay, all right. You had me nervous for a second. I was like, is there breaking news that I don't?
Keeping you on your toes, man.
All right.
That'd be the level of panic if we saw Andy Dalton this weekend, by the way.
Just everybody collapses
on
the
God.
ground. All right, so just to be clear, the injury news of the day for the Panthers is Tetero McMillan popped up on the injury report with a hamstring injury, just flared up. There's concern from Dave Canales, his word. He said concern, but nothing official as far as, not playing, whatever, questionable, the official tag.
Also, the only other one on the injury report, well, two people. Chandler Zavala had the elbow injury last week, didn't practice again today. He's officially been ruled out. And then Bryson Tremaine, the wide receiver, mostly special teamer, one of the core 4 special teams guys, had a hip injury yesterday, but was a full participant in practice today, but he's still listed as questionable. So that's it in terms of the injury report.
All right, so there's the injury updates for you. At this moment, it's time for something we call the Panthers Paw Print. Panthers Paw Print is brought to you by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com. The Paw Print, Dennis and I each give 2 players that we think are the most important for the Carolina Panthers to get a win this weekend. Taking on the Saints on Sunday at home. I will start. My first Paw Print player, Mike Jackson. Corner. We talk about what does a team want to do. Panthers want to run it with Dowdle. You know what the Saints want to do? They want to throw it to Chris Olave specifically.
That makes sense.
Especially with Rashid Shaheed now traded. Chris Olave already with Rashid Shaheed on the field when not injured. He is second in the entire league in targets. Only Jamar Chase has more targets this season than Chris Olave. So if I had one player that I specifically wanted to get the ball to the most, I am putting them in the formation as far away from J.C. Horn as I possibly can, especially knowing that J.C. Horn doesn't always travel. I'm putting him in the slot. I'm putting him on the other side. I'm trying to confuse everybody. And if that happens, I think he will be matched up with Mike Jackson quite a bit. And Chris Olave is pretty good. I think he's been held back by quarterback play at times with the Saints, but he's pretty good when healthy. He's been held back by injuries a bunch. He has a concussion history and had some really scary hits last year. But when healthy, he's pretty darn good. So whoever is matched up on Chris Olave, just know that he's like the first and second read on every play for the Saints. So you're going to be busy and you're going to have to make plays.
He is the read.
Yeah, exactly. Coaches will say, like, what were you looking at when you're a quarterback after a play? And they're always looking for a defensive player. You're right. I was looking at the linebacker. I was seeing what the safety was going to do. I was the corner, right? Whatever. I think the Saints. What were you looking at, Chris? Perfect. Good job. All right, back to the huddle. Next play.
Well done.
All right, who's your first Paw Print player?
Mine is actually going to be Nick Scorton. And the reason why I bring up Nick Scorton is because of the fact that the New Orleans Saints traded Trevor Penning, one of their starting offensive linemen, to the LA Chargers. So you're down a starting offensive lineman because of that. Like you mentioned, they traded one of their starting wide receivers at the trade deadline as well. And it's Tyler Shuck's second start of his career. Make life miserable for that guy. And Nick Scorton, you're starting now as an outside linebacker because of injuries and so on. Your chance to actually get pressure. This is one thing that the Carolina Panthers defense is, as much as they've been bend, don't break, they still haven't generated a ton of pressure in games this season. Overall, over the course of games. I know they had 5 sacks in a game, a couple weeks ago, but overall, on a consistent basis, it hasn't been there. Nick Scorton, your chance to go feast, my man.
Young quarterbacks or inexperienced quarterbacks. Got to change the way you talk about
He's
Chuck. You can't say
young.
But inexperienced quarterbacks, trash around their feet, bodies around their feet, collapsing pockets. That's traditionally been something that'll get them off their rhythm a bit. And obviously Shuck is pretty inexperienced. My next Paw Print player, and I had this written down, but I think it becomes doubly now. Tedero McMillan. Right, he's on the injury report. I think he has to help Bryce. If there is a pebble in the shoe of Tedero McMillan's rookie year, he does have some drops. He does, and just concentration drops, right? The ones where he's trying to make a move upfield, the ones where he's in the end zone maybe, but near the sideline, so you can tell he's thinking about where his feet are going to be, or if he's going to come down in bounds and the ball goes through his hands. If he plays, right, because obviously popped up on the injury report today, he has to be effective, right? He has to catch the 2 or 3 balls that are absolutely necessary to help Bryce. The passing game is not good enough right now to deal with a couple drops. right? Because I always, whenever the drops pop up, you hear like, well, actually, you know who has the most drops in the NFL? And it's like Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. And I'm like, well, they're throwing it 44 times a game. They're getting 18 targets each. And they also caught 6 passes that no one else on the planet would have caught. I'm going to give them a drop. You know what I mean? Tedero McMillan might get 6 targets, might get 5 targets. 2 of them are going to be really, really tough catches, neither here nor there. You got to catch the other 3 or 4. You know what I mean? You have to, just to keep teams honest. So I think he's – and by the way, the other stat that I love about Tedero McMillan is he has like 40 catches. I don't know what the exact number is, but like 35 of them have gone for first downs. In a lot of ways, he is the chain mover for that offense. And keeping the offense out there, letting the defense rest, we know how important that is. So Tedero McMillan, if he plays, has to be really good. And I guess I'll put a little asterisk. If he doesn't, everything I just said, apply it to Jalen Coker. And I think he becomes almost just as important.
I'm going to go with another pass catcher, but I'm going to go Tommy Tremble.
Interesting.
Because I think for the fact that you might not see Tedero McMillan play, well, where does Bryce excel? In passes from the line of scrimmage to 9 yards downfield, 10 yards downfield. He excels in that area. He's actually has one of the highest target, catchable rates in the entire
or catchable
NFL.
Throw rate is the official stat. But yes. You're right.
He excels in that area. This is an opportunity to get your tight ends more involved. I know they only threw 20 passes last week, and of those 20 pass attempts, I think only 3 targets went to tight ends. I'd like to see Tommy Tremble get involved a little bit more, especially if there's going to be more attention drawn to possibly Xavier Legette, Jalen Coker, like you mentioned. I would not be surprised if Dave Canales adjusts and runs more 2 tight end sets. Get Tommy Tremble more involved in the pass game for sure.
It's funny just because you brought up 2 touchdown sets. I did watch second screen most of Monday or Thursday Night Football last night, and the Raiders traded away Jacoby Myers, NC State guy, to Jacksonville. And I was like, oh, we're going to see so much 2 tight ends. They're going to put Mayer and Bowers out there. That could be interesting. Their offense was so bad that it didn't matter. It could have been me and you catching passes, and they would have not lost much. Gosh, that game was awful. I saw 13 3-and-outs. 13 between the 2 3-and-outs.
I don't know why you wasted your time with that.
Well, the Canes game was on the main screen. During commercials and things, you want somewhere to look. It was brutal. But I do like Tommy Tremble. I do like Tommy Tremble. Don't get me wrong. I like anyone from the tight end group being impactful, right? Because if you're going to run the ball as much as you are with Rico Dowdle, you better get good at passing with run personnel on the field. 2 tight ends, if that gets the other team to bring linebackers onto the field and they're going to sell out, you have to have pass catchers out of that formation, which also makes it very important who your number 2 wide receiver is. Because if you're out there in 2 wide receiver sets, it's going to be Tedero McMillan and probably Legette is I would like it to be Coker. If McMillan doesn't play, it's probably Coker and Legette. You have to be able to win those matchups when they bring in heavy personnel on defense. There you go. That's Panthers Paw Print, brought to you by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com. That's Wake, W-A-K-E, Ortho, R-O-T-H-O.com. Panthers Paw Print completes here on 99.9 The Fan. It's college basketball season, everybody. It can be multiple seasons at once. There you go. It's not like Daffy and Bugs. Duck season, rabbit season. No, it's football season, basketball season, both. That's a short cartoon. College basketball season is in full swing. And if you don't think they only play 1 game, there's a top 25 matchup in the Triangle tonight. You can't tell me college basketball isn't in full swing.
For real.
Kansas, Carolina, tonight. 19 in the country, 25 in the country, in the Dean Dome. Full swing. Like we're mid-season form. At least you hope so. This is a gigantic test for UNC. The first real test for UNC. I know they had their first win, but it was expected to be and was a blowout victory. The test is going to come in the form of Kansas's height, size, power. They have 6'10", 6'11", 6'11", 6'11", 6. It's like copy and paste down there on their post. Just 6'11", 235, 6'11", 235, 6'11", 240, 6'11", 242. They've got dudes that are big, tall, strong, and fast. Last year, if you're UNC, right? This year, if you're UNC, well, you're rolling out 7 feet, 6'11", 6'10", 6'9". Like you have dudes as well. And it's our first chance to see if they fix the problem, right? Because one of the only real concerns I have about this roster, and I'm much higher on this roster this year than I was last year. One of the few just tiny little, I want to see that before I fully believe about UNC's roster is, are there big guys, tall basketball players, or are they big guys? You know what I mean? Are they 7-footers that grew up watching more KD, right? Kevin Durant, and telling everybody they're 6'9" when they're 7 foot? Or on the other side, are you big guys that can, when needed, go put their forearm into the back of a guy trying to post you up and fight back? That's what I want to see. And if they pass that test against Kansas, I don't think there's many teams in the country that would give them a better look than that. That's a big test. Number 19 team in the country kind of test, but it's a big test. The other thing I want to see is, and this is by no means like set in stone, right? If you don't do it today, it's not like, oh, you're never going to do it. There's room to improve. Sometimes the first real big game you play in is just what shows you what you have to work on. Right? You didn't know you had to work on it until you saw that leak sprout in a big game. But the other thing I want to see is somebody I've been very much on the bandwagon for, Caleb Wilson. I want to see what his it factor is, because Kansas has another guy that's one of the favorites to be top draft pick, one of the favorites to be All-American. His name's Darren Peterson. It is a premier matchup nationally. And actually, Darren Peterson is in the conversations that I think Caleb Wilson should be in, but isn't quite in yet. They play different positions, right? Although Caleb Wilson, I think that it's like 6'5" to 6'10". They both can handle, they both do a lot, but I don't expect them to guard each other very much unless it's a screen switch or something like that. But I do think it's like the quarterback thing, right? When quarterbacks play against each other, they're never on the field at the same time, but it is kind of one-on-one, right? It's who has the bigger impact. It's who plays better. It's who I want Caleb Wilson to win the game within a game, right? I want him to be the premier player. I want him to sense the moment. I want him to want the ball. I want him to dominate. Just like, the greats that we've seen at the college basketball level over the years. Luka Bogovac will be more in the mix. I think with every game he's going to be more in the mix after missing the exhibitions. I want to see him space the floor. And the other thing I want to see is Seth Trimble being the voice, right? When Seth Trimble's on an R.J. Davis team, R.J. Davis he was the reigning ACC Player of the Year last year, right? He won it his second to last year, so then he kind of came in with the title, meaning the ACC Player of the Year title. This is, as far as a leadership, I look at it as Seth Trimble's team, right? He's the returner. He's the fourth-year player. He's the guy that's been in Chapel Hill forever. He owns the ice cream shop on Franklin Street. He's the one with roots. It's his responsibility to get them in the right mindset. If they start slow, it's his responsibility to get the dunk, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And we know he has the ability to go high-flying. We've seen him do it.
I wonder with teams that are built so much through transfer portal, has so many new faces. I know Caleb Wilson obviously being a freshman, but there's a lot of new faces via the transfer portal. To have a fourth-year senior like Seth Trimble on your roster for Hubert Davis to be that calming force, especially in an early game or early season matchup like a game against Kansas, it's got to be comforting for the head coach.
Yep.
I would imagine, hey, Hubert going up to Seth, hey, Seth, you make sure these guys are calm. You make sure that they're obviously focused, that they're obviously don't get too nervous. Now, there's guys like Henry Vasar, Jaron Stevenson have been in big games, so I'm not worried about that. But when it comes to who's in charge and how they do it at Carolina, it's good to have that one voice.
I've used this example a bunch, and I'll use it again here. And it's not apples to apples because of what you said, right? There are guys that are transfers that have been in pretty important games, just not with Carolina. But in the true one-and-done era, like the point in time between where the one-and-done started and all the way up until NIL and transfer portal kind of made it that era, I think of two national champions that really embraced one-and-done and then won the national championship. One was the 2012 championship for Kentucky, the Anthony Davis year, and then the other was the Duke championship with Jahlil Okafor and Tyus Jones and that group. What nobody really mentions about those, there was like all these freshmen and sophomores won national championship. The Kentucky team had Darius Miller, who was a senior point guard, and Duke had Quinn Cook, who was a senior point guard, and they were the palm to the floor guys, right? The person that would grab the ball, put it under their arm like it's a football, feet moving, nobody moving, and would put their palm down and just their opposite hand and just go, relax, calm down, right? Still got 20 seconds on the shot clock. Everybody chill. I think that's a super valuable thing. And I want to see Seth Trimble, if needed, sense that. Grab the ball, hold it, everybody chill. All right, call out your play, call out your set, whatever you want to do. Because when new people start panicking, it can get out of hand real quickly, right? You don't know where to run to. You don't have your plan yet. He needs to be the one to get everybody on the same page. NC State looking at college basketball, taking on UAB tonight, which Alabama Birmingham, they should win easily, right? 20.5-point favorite, right? So they should win easily. They already got the electric home opener out of the way. They've introduced what they need to introduce. The Will Wade era has started. But there is a weird historical wrinkle to this game. This was a rabbit hole I went down today. I was reading a whole bunch of stuff. Andy Kennedy is the coach for UAB. Andy Kennedy has an interesting history with NC State. He played as a player his freshman year at NC State, just a couple years after the high-flying national championship-winning Valvano squad. Just his freshman year. Then he transferred to UAB, where he's coaching now. He was one of 3 former players quoted and interviewed for the book Personal Fouls. That book played a big role in the ousting of Jim Valvano from NC State. It's where many of the allegations of the violations and everything else that eventually led to Jim Valvano not being the coach at NC State anymore, which State fans don't appreciate. Jim Valvano, he's pretty highly thought of by NC State fans. And the reliabilities of the narrators. The story was really told by a former manager in the book Personal Fouls, former manager from the same season that Kennedy was there, and then 3 former players, right? One, a disgruntled reserve, one who left the team in midseason, and Kennedy, who left after his freshman year. That's a really interesting coach to come back to NC State right as, and I'm not saying he's the same, Will Wade brings a hint of, a splash of Jim Valvano energy back to NC State, right? The disruptor, the maybe more charmer, whatever you want to call it, the understanding the moment, the sense for media. So right as they wore the jerseys, they wore the throwback jerseys, they got the noise meter, whatever you like. They're doing quite a bit of homaging to the, I don't know if that's a verb, homaging to the Jim Valvano era, and now you have this guy who played that particular role. Will Wade seems like somebody that would look for any reason to get mad and want vengeance, right? Rile his team up with a little, he tried to tear apart your program with his salacious book quotes. That almost turned into like a wrestling promo there, didn't it? And we're going to see him at the Lenny this Friday night at 9 p.m. And we're going to be wearing red, and we're going to be looking for blood. Maybe. All I'm saying is it's a really, really interesting little narrative storyline to throw onto a game that's 20.5 points on the spread. And then finally, tomorrow, 1:30, Western Carolina at Duke. Duke just can't play, I guess, when everyone else in the ACC is playing. It feels like there's always a day when there's like 15 ACC teams playing and then Duke plays the next day. Maybe intentional, who knows. Western Carolina at Duke. Couldn't even find a spread for this one. Went looking. I assume if you find it, it'll be in the 30s, maybe upper 30s. Who knows? But this is their tune-up game, which is ironic because they've already beaten Texas. Right? Most teams start with the tune-up and then get into their bigger power conference games. Duke opened with Texas, beat them by 15, now gets their Western Carolina, which I don't think there's a right way. I think whichever way a coach wants to do it, whichever way they think benefits their program. But I do think once you play Texas and then you play Western Carolina, you have a greater to-do list for Western Carolina. Meanwhile, like UNC plays their tune-up and then goes and hosts Kansas, I think their tune-up really just had, get a good sweat in, right? Let's get used to it. Let's figure it out. Duke comes in with no, here are the things we didn't do well against Texas. Let's make sure we do them well against Western Carolina. Hey, Cameron Boozer, aggressive from the jump. You played soft in the first half against Texas. Let's make sure we do better there. Hey, Patrick Gongba, guess what? No foul trouble today, right? You're too valuable to the team, so you can't get in foul trouble. Also, get the bench going. They had 11 points off the bench versus Texas. Malik Brown, Nick Himenia, Caden Boozer, Darren Harris. These guys are too talented off the bench to each score 3 or 4 points, if that. If they would have opened with Western Carolina and then played Texas, they wouldn't have had any of that on their to-do list. It would have been the same, right? All right, get a good workout in, get up and down, get the win, and then we'll figure out what we need to do to get ready for Texas. So the order of it does change things just a little bit, and it gives us more to look for in that game. I think you should and would hope Cameron Boozer will start better, right? And it might even be one of those deals where you call the first 5 of the first 8 plays to put the ball in his hands and see if he doesn't walk away with 8 points just because he was held scoreless in the first half against Texas.
Can't find a spread for this one.
I looked. I act like I was like sifting in the mines. No, I checked the 4 sports books that I always check.
Yeah, I looked at a few. I couldn't find anything.
And on ESPN, on their schedule where they normally put the spread and the over-under, nothing there either.
Nothing there.
But
by the way, Carolina.
Yep, go ahead.
Tonight, 2.5-point favorites.
Okay, I think it was 1.5 last I checked.
2.5-point favorites. NC State, 19.5-point favorites against UAB today.
That's come down. That was 20.5 earlier today. What I will say is the ESPN matchup predictor has Duke as a 99+% winner tonight versus Western Carolina. 99+.
That makes perfect sense.
I could see why you wouldn't offer a spread on that one. But either way, there is still there's to-do list for Duke, even if winning is kind of assumed. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have real, bold predictions coming up. But first, Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know a lot of people have been hearing me talk about this over the last 3.5 months, and I'll say this number again. The number is 42. 42 pounds. I know we talk a lot of stats here, obviously being on sports radio. We look at numbers, we look at stats, and I step on the scale and I see a 42-pound difference from where I was 3.5 months ago. It's pretty staggering. You want to talk about a spread? 42? That's a pretty massive spread. That's a pretty massive weight loss. I've lost 15% of my body weight. Again, talking about stats and numbers, 15% of my body weight gone in the last 3.5 months thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you're curious about the getting on a weight loss program, I encourage you to go to RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506, and set up a free 15-minute phone call. If you have questions about the program, what all does it entail? I have some health issues. Does it, clash with what I have going on? How does it work? Can it benefit me? Doesn't hurt to ask those questions. It's a free 15-minute phone call. Again, visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Free 15-minute phone call. There's no shots or injections, no HGH, no steroids, just your body doing the natural thing. And if you are really curious if it can work, I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it can work. The 42 pounds, it's real, folks. 42 pounds, it is very real. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Real, bold predictions. Authentic, certified, bold predictions. Next, right here on The Drive.
Move your sports day forward.
All right, just say it once. Just say it. Just say it one time. I promise it'll be cathartic for you. The Carolina Panthers will be playing meaningful football in November. One more time for the back. The Carolina Panthers will be playing meaningful football in November.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we've served veterans and their families for over 90 years, and we continue to serve over 2 million veterans because their contributions inspire our service. And this Veterans Day, we want to tell you that when you're a member, you'll have access to exclusive rates, discounts, and financial tools. Plus, we're partnering with Travis Manion Foundation's Veterans Day of Service campaign, connecting veterans and families of the fallen with local volunteer opportunities. Become a member at NavyFederal.org/veterans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Holiday scratch-offs, what a gift. It lets them dream just for a bit. Ski trip, cruise ship, sports car, pristine yard, courtside seats, fancy meats. Holiday scratch-offs can't be beat.
Give the gift of what if from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.19 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Jarvis back for Walker. He scores! Sean Walker's on a heater. Carolina takes the 3-2 lead. Walker's second point of the period and second goal in as many games.
It's The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Waiting for Tim to come back into the studio. There he is. See, a lot of people don't realize this is how the sausage is made sometimes. Sometimes when the hosts will step out of the studio, they don't realize how long is left in the commercial break. So then the producer has to bring us back in from break.
Of course.
And allows Tim to, get his headphones on.
We're back and we're ready. That was a quick break.
I know it was.
But the good news is I already have my real bold predictions pre-prepped. So we can jump right into it.
Oh, okay. Well, here's the thing, because I had to intro us in. I'm not ready. So you may all be all good to go.
It's a Friday, everybody. While Dennis gets all that settled up, I can let you know, here's how some of the sausage gets made in a different way. Mm-hmm. We put a lot of work behind the scenes into content creation about all your favorite teams. Things like this show, things like podcasts, things like written pieces, articles, blogs, that kind of deal. And all of them live on our app, 99.9 The Fan. There's a ton of work that goes in behind the scenes. You don't need to know about any of that. All you need to know is if you want all of the content about your favorite local sports teams, pro, college, all of it, 99.9 The Fan, the app, Google Play Store, App Store if you're on an iPhone, Google Play Store if you're on an Android. Download it, enjoy it, have fun. We'd appreciate it. Register also, name, birthday, whatever you need to put in there. That's how we handle our giveaways on the app. Now are we ready for real bold predictions?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Real bold predictions. This is the only place in sports media where our bold predictions are certified. They're authenticated. We use the not bold enough buzzer and the bold enough bell or chime to decide, right? I say what I think is a bold prediction. I'll hear either the bell or the buzzer. If I get the buzzer, I have to make it bold enough on the spot, bolder on the spot, until we hear the chime. Basically, it prevents me from saying a bold prediction is something that's very likely to happen and then celebrating as if I did anything special. We'll try to go in chronological order here. Try to. Which means we will start with men's basketball, Kansas at UNC tonight at 7.
All right.
Luka Bogovic scores 20 or more.
20 or more?
20 or more. I think he's like a 16-point per game scorer for UNC. Has 10 in the opener, but that's off the bench. That's with no exhibition experience. I think against Kansas, they're going to need him a little bit more. And, in order to hit 20, he'll have to get going from 3, right? Probably needs 3 or 4 of them to realistically get 20. But it's a bold prediction, so I'm rolling with it. I think Luka Bogovac makes a big one. Next up, sequentially, chronologically, UAB at NC State tonight at 9. So a little bit later on, home game for State. Darian Williams, 15 or more in the first half. 15 in one half of basketball, which would mean at half he would be on pace for 30 plus.
Yeah, for him against UAB, that's not bold.
17 or more? 19 or more? All right. Would I've gotten it with 18? I was going to go 18.
Yeah, probably 18.
I really liked what the vibe of Darian Williams in their opener, which was he came out, he set the tone, he hit a bunch of shots early, he got everything under control, and then it was very much like, now I'm going to pass the rock to my guys and let them handle it the rest of the way. I think there'll be some similar vibes against UAB. UAB is probably a little bit of a step up in competition, so he may have to keep the pedal to the floor a little bit longer before he passes things off. I would have felt much more comfortable with 15 than 19 or whatever I settled on, but trying to be bold here. So the ACC preseason player of the year better have a big first half tonight for NC State to make me look good. Next up, so we're going to now we go to the next day. Duke basketball, I believe, will be up first at 1:30. Hosting Western Carolina, number 6, Duke. I'm going Cameron Boozer, 20 and 20.
20 and 20?
20 and 20, or more, obviously, not exactly. I think this is I know I didn't play great. I went 3 for 13 from the field, didn't have a great first half. I want to take out some of that aggression. He's going to have 20-plus points, 20-plus rebounds, which he's done in the exhibition game and got pretty close in a few others. So I think it's more mental for him. He's going to go try to step up, and that's what's going to happen. All right, now, again, chronologically, now we go to, I believe, Duke at UConn football tomorrow at 3:30.
Yeah, that's correct.
Duke gets an interception.
You're baiting me into this one right here. I know.
I will explain the stats after.
I
you
will.
Either give
so
the
you
bell
know
or the
what?
buzzer.
You know what? I'll give this one to you.
UConn has thrown, or their starting quarterback has thrown 304 passes. He has 304 attempts, 22 touchdown passes, no interceptions. They only have 1 lost fumble. Their offense has 1 turnover. It is November 7th. They have 1 turnover. I think for Duke to win this game in the manner in which they want to win this game, they're going to have to force a turnover or 2. So I'm boldly predicting they're going to get an interception on Joe Fagnano. That's, I believe, how you pronounce the guy's last name. The quarterback that has not thrown an interception this year. Not a single one. There are quarterbacks out there like, not one. I threw 4 in 1 game. It's wild. But Manny Diaz, Chandler Rivers, they've got, maybe it's a tip. Maybe one of the guys early gets home a little bit, hits him in the process, and it's a freebie. Lands in a defensive tackle's lap. Maybe that's what's going on. But I think they get an interception. Next up will be UNC versus Stanford football. Tomorrow, 4:30, at home for UNC. Bold predictions, so I'm going for bold here. UNC pitches a shutout. So I can't get more bold than that. I can't give up negative points.
I'm like, -6?
Stanford's offense is, by statistics, like multiple levels worse than, say, a Virginia offense. UNC held Virginia's offense to 10 points in regulation, or held Virginia as a whole to 10 points in regulation. Ipso facto, I think a shutout's in play. I think a shutout is in play. It's bold, don't get me wrong, but it's in play. And you know what else is true? If you give up 0 points, you can't lose. You can go to overtime. You can't lose. All right, we're cruising through here. Now we go to Saturday, 7 o'clock, Canes versus Buffalo at home. So this is tomorrow, 7 p.m., Lenovo Center, Canes versus Buffalo. Nikolai Ehlers, 2 goals. I'm not saying I'm saying 2 goals in that game.
Yeah, I know.
And that's not bold.
No.
He has 2 goals in his first 12 games as a Cane.
Man's on a heater. This is Nikolai Ehlers we're talking about.
I mean, do I have to go Hattie?
You don't have to go Hattie.
How would I make? I guess I could add Ann spends 2 minutes in the box.
You can do a number of different things.
Okay. Here's the thing. 2 goals, 8 shots on goal.
I'll take that.
I've got some. I think he likes the taste of goal scoring.
Oh yeah,
and he obviously has wet his whistle the last 2 games, and he's going to be hungry for it. And I think he's going to sense team needs a spark. I think he's going to be aggressive.
You could have said 2 goals and both were on the power play. I would have given you a bell on that one.
I don't think they're going to be on the power play. Buffalo surprisingly has a good power play. Penalty kill.
Yeah,
right?
They're actually one of the best in the entire
NHL.
NHL.
It's the only thing they're good at.
That's what it made it bold, Tim.
Although I don't know if this is super commonly known out there. Rasmus Dahlin he is on a personal leave of absence going back to his home country. His fiancée had a heart transplant.
Yeah.
And he is going to obviously aid in her recovery and everything. So it's a big loss for them. Good player. All right, we keep it rolling. So anyway,
okay.
just throwing that
Change
out there.
up the tune here.
Yeah, there's no easy in and out of that. That's a very serious situation. Hoping for positives on all fronts. Next up chronologically, Panthers versus Saints on Sunday.
That's right.
Jalen Coker scores a touchdown. How is that not bold? He has 4 catches on the year. The passing offense hasn't had a touchdown in how long?
It's Jalen Coker scoring a touchdown. It's not bold to me.
Jalen Coker scores a touchdown in the first half. Jalen Coker scores a touchdown, and it is a longer touchdown than 10 yards. Jalen Coker scores a touchdown, and Bryce Young throws for 2. So you just got to add Bryce into anything. It's now.
No, not necessarily.
What if
you could have said hey, it would be a 45-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Coker? I would have gone via bell on that.
I think that's too bold.
How is that too bold?
When's the last 45-plus yard touchdown they've had?
Jalen Coker last year against Dallas?
Yeah.
83 yards?
I need to keep it within the realm of possibilities. I think Jalen Coker, he's due. I just think he's a good player.
Yeah.
And they need to build in more opportunities for him, and especially if Tedero McMillan is unavailable. But I had this written before that.
Especially the way Dave Canales has been talking about, we got to get him going. He feel like he's ready for a breakout game. He's been preaching about Jalen Coker getting him more involved since Monday.
There's one more game we have to make a prediction for.
What's that?
Sunday at 7, Canes at Toronto.
That's right. Right here on the Fan.
It is. Well, all Canes games.
Of course.
Right here on the Fan. And the 99.9 The Fan app. Aho.
Okay.
2 goals.
Yeah, I see. How you did? Yeah, I did the same thing for Ehlers. I can't do the same. Give you
Aho has not
for
scored
Aho.
2 goals in the last 2 games, so maybe more bold.
It's Aho we're talking about here.
Well, if I was saying 2 points, I would be like, no, I'd go more than that. But 2 goals, 2 goals, at least 1 on the power play.
I'll give you that.
Thank you. I think Aho. He's very aware of the team's vibe. I think he reads the room very well. Second half of a back-to-back with travel, dealing with injuries. I think he's going to be extra buzzing on Sunday, recognizing that he needs, he can't ask everyone else to go bananas all the way, pedal to the floor if he's not doing it, right? He's that kind of a leader. So I think particularly first period, he might have one of his one of his periods with the most hits. Like he might be mixing it up, trying to set the tone. Because I respect Aho a lot for that. By the way, he leads from the front. So I think on the second half of a back-to-back tired team, he's not going to ask anyone to do anything he won't do himself. So he'll be buzzing. That's bold predictions, but not just any bold predictions. Real bold predictions. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of Sebastian Aho and the Carolina Hurricanes, they beat Minnesota last night. We'll break it down with 2 minutes of gold coming up to start the starting five next.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal, I should remind you. The goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
It's bow time. Fumble in the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you can say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's bow time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's bow time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's Tailgate Special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles Tailgate Special, and go. It's bow time.
I am here with Patrick Day of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I'm on your website. Gutter helmets right on the front of the website. Do you have a gutter helmet to fit my head? I have a small head.
We have a gutter helmet for every head, Adam. So anyhow, if you give us a call, we'll come out and take a look at your windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and of course we can do the gutter helmet. We have financing programs that are really good. So we have like 12 months with 0 payments for 12 months. You don't have to pay anything. So if you're thinking about home improvements and you're thinking you're saving up for it, just come on and see us, and we'll go ahead and get you set up and get your project done, and you can pay in 12 months from now.
I feel like you're speaking directly to me. If it's for the exterior of your home, there is no better place than the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You can find them online, aluminumcompany.com. Siding, roofing, windows, entry doors, storm doors, and the world-famous gutter helmets. Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 1-800-672-4348.
Whether you're in school, whether it's in life, you just got to give it everything you got, and I'm glad I was able to represent that.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $800 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $800 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. It's pretty warm out there this evening. Temperatures should only dip down into the 60s. The low 55 tonight. And from midnight through about 7 a.m., there could be some rain that rolls through. Then Saturday is nice, 76 degrees and partly cloudy.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 74 points today to 46,987.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan, and it is officially Friday at 5 o'clock, everybody. Congratulations. If you work that traditional 9 to 5, Monday through Friday job, you have made it to the weekend, and we cheers to that. And if that's something you're into, and we thank you for starting your weekend with us here on 99.9 The Fan. Every day about this time, we hit the starting five, and as always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carolina will be going on a power play. Svechnikov scores! He's starting to heat up. Near post, Andrei Svechnikov, his third of the season, and we're tied again.
Isn't it funny? First, a few weeks of the season, everyone's worried about Svech and Ehlers scoring goals. Now, they're both heating up, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a really big sample size sport, and you got to wait a while to really make any hard and fast reactions, right? By the way, I'm not talking to anybody. I might be talking to myself. We all overreact. But it's good to see those two guys get going. Both had a goal last night. That one from Svech, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. For more reaction to the Canes win over the Wild, which had a roller coaster, particularly early on, of emotions and play, here is 2 minutes of gold with our very own Adam Gold.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I've got 2 minutes for two players who each had 2 points as the Hurricanes picked up 2 points in a thrilling, wild win, 4-3 over Minnesota. And it's all brought to us by Parkway Sleep Health Centers. At Parkway Sleep, they will help you get good rest faster and with the care you deserve. And what we all deserve is to have a skill like Jackson Blake when he's got the puck.
Now Jackson Blake going away from Kaprizov. He's got Hall with him. Blake with a shot. He scores! Oh, what a one-man show from Jackson Blake, and he ties it at 1.
That was something straight out of the Hobie Baker songbook. He treated 4 Minnesota Wild players like they were traffic cones. It was awesome. That made it 1-1. And then at 3-3, right after the Wild had tied it early in the second period on a power play goal, Blake finds his new line mate, Nick Ehlers, for the lead.
And now Carolina trying to go back to work. They got it 2-1. Blake out in front. They score! A tap in for Nick Ehlers. Tap for tap in Carolina. Back in the lead. It's 4-3. Ehlers' second goal with the Canes.
9 seconds after the Boldy goal that tied it, Blake found Ehlers, and Carolina is back on top. That's where it ended. The game got normal after that, which was great considering what it was, completely inebriated for the first 21 minutes. And then Sean Walker, who scored the goal to give Carolina a 3-2 lead, went to work on the defensive end.
Kept in by Rossi, sent it cross back for Kaprizov, and it's kept out by Walker. Oh, what a play by Sean Walker.
Oh my gosh, highlight reel. That puck should have been cleared. What a play by Walker.
I cannot express just how good Sean Walker has been defensively. He is playing 7 more minutes a night this year against top forwards than he was last year against bottom 6 wingers. It is an incredible development for the Hurricanes. Sean Walker has arguably been their MVP. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health, sound off to have a skill like Blake and a player like Sean Walker.
Thank you once again to Adam Gold for 2 minutes of gold, all about the Canes win last night, 4-3 over the Wild. I've said this, I'm broken record on it. The most frustrating thing about the NHL is the lack of injury updates we get, but if we do hear anything on Jalen Chatfield, obviously we would pass things along. He's important. Not only is he important traditionally, if everybody else on the roster were healthy and he missed a period of time, I would say they're going to miss him and he's super important. But I would doubly and triply it based on the fact that Jacob Slavin's out and Shane Gostisbehere's out, and that blue line's been ravaged. And he's somebody that, he can play a lot of minutes. Bit of an innings eater for him back there on the blue line. So we'll see. We'll see. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Finds Williams again straight away. Couple of pounds left and defers to McNeil. Jabs right, wraps it back to Williams. Backdoor feed, catch. Lubin jams it down. Threads the needle, does Williams. 15-5 Pack lead.
It is crazy when you play a Van Allen Lubin highlight. I have to wait for other context clues to see if you're playing a state or a UNC highlight now. Because obviously Van Allen Lubin was on UNC last year. He's on NC State this year. And both of those teams play tonight. Number 19 in the country, Kansas, is coming to play in Chapel Hill. Number 25 in the country, UNC. That's tonight at 7 in what is the first real test for UNC this season. I've said it a few times leading up to a big testing game like this. There's some quiet confidence in Carolina right now, in that basketball program. Some real, you guys don't know what you're dealing with energy. The only way I can describe, the only time I felt really on the inside of something that nobody else knew about, one year in college, we had a gray shirt. You know what gray shirt is? You, for football, if you don't enroll until the spring of your freshman year, that doesn't count as a red shirt year. The fall doesn't count as a red shirt year or anything. You just start a year later, but you're there for spring ball. So we had a gray shirt running back in spring ball that we were like, whoa. And going into that year, all the previews of our team said, they've got the quarterback, they've got the running back, they don't have the running back. They got the quarterback, the defense, the offensive line. They just don't have a running back. And we were all looking around going, I think actually our best player is a running back and just nobody knows it yet. And then he was an All-American and we made it to the national championship game. And it was very much like that calm before the storm where we were all going you don't know. I get similar vibes from UNC. I don't know what they know that we don't know, but they know it. You follow that one? There's something there that they think, just wait. And I think the first chance for us to get to see it is tonight against Kansas. So we'll see if I'm right in my reading of their nonverbals. The other game, UAB at NC State tonight. Obviously, State, Dennis, you said it went down to a 19.5 point spread?
Yeah, last I checked.
It was 20.5 this afternoon, so they're projected to win by a bunch. I think it's continuing the Will Wade, I don't want to say takeover because it's his program, but implementing his style, his culture, his everything. Every game is it's more embedded. He was asked earlier this week about, where he plans to be 10 years from now. And he said, hopefully here, if they don't fire me. So, these might be the first bricks laid in a pretty sturdy foundation. UAB, not much to write home about. Big new roster for UAB. And then tomorrow in college basketball, so much college basketball. Western Carolina at number 6 Duke tomorrow at 1:30. Duke has obviously already beaten Texas by 15 points. Western Carolina, a step down in competition from Texas, but opportunity for Duke to polish, fix, work on the things that emerged as maybe not great for Duke against Texas. I think they're going to want to start better, not need Isaiah Evans to catch fire to ignite him. I think they're going to want Patrick Gumba to stay out of foul trouble while still being aggressive. I think they want their bench to do a little better. But they'll win, and they'll win likely by a whole bunch of points. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Lopez fakes a screen, now hits the tunnel screen to June. June out into the open. June down the far sideline, fights off a tackler. June's going to take it to the house. 10-5, touchdown, Carolina. Damon June all the way for 6.
UNC football versus Stanford tomorrow at 4:30. Duke football tomorrow at UConn at 3:30. We'll start with the UNC game since that's the highlight we just played. I'm looking at UNC, not quality comparison, not even relative quality, so not compared to their foes, but I'm looking at them similarly to the way I look at the Carolina Panthers this year. Their plan A D&D. It's Dowdle in defense for the Panthers. It's Damon June in defense for UNC. Damon June looks like a dude at running back, which is nice to hear. And the other thing is, the reason why they're similar is, and it took UNC longer, but there was a period of time where it seemed like everybody knew that Rico Dowdle needed to be the workhorse for the Panthers, except for the people that could treat him as the workhorse for the Carolina Panthers. There's been multiple times throughout the year where we've watched a UNC game and gone, you know what, things weren't that great, but you know who was a bright spot? Damon June. June had some pop. June brought some life. June did this. And it seems like everybody was kind of on that path, except for the people that could put him in and give him the ball a whole bunch of times. I hope their game against Syracuse, which was a win, by the way, and he had well over 100 total yards, and they won, can set them up for versus Stanford. Stanford's offense is not very good. Play defense. Use Damon June as the engine. Be conservative on offense. Score a few points. Win the game. 4 wins on the year is what they're chasing with this win. 4. There was a point in time I wasn't sure that they were going to get more than 2. And the only reason I was pretty confident in 2 is because they had 2 pretty overmatched opponents from lesser group of 5 or lower divisions. Duke at UConn tomorrow, also college football. Duke is chasing the complete game, right? It's what every team is chasing if we're being real. But the difference between the best teams in a power conference and a pretty good team, a team that could upset anyone on a given day, and a team that's considered like a contender, it's putting it all together, right? Like a middle of the let me pick a good middle of the road team in the ACC. Actually, heck, we'll use NC State. They're on a bye. NC State can beat anyone in the ACC any given day. They've proven that. They beat Georgia Tech and Virginia, gave them each their only loss of the year. But they can lose to some teams on any given day, as they've proven, right? They lost to Virginia Tech. And the reason is their consistency isn't there. Right? When the offense is good, they can win a shootout. When it's not, the defense isn't really picking them up or whatever it is. Duke, to be considered what some are already calling them, a favorite, a contender, maybe a dark horse CFP team, for them to do that, I need to see them put it all together. I need to see them win a game where the offense plays great and the defense plays pretty well, at least. Or the defense plays great and the offense plays pretty well. And against a real opponent, too. I know that they roughed up Syracuse pretty good, 38-3. You might be like, there it is, but Syracuse wasn't what they were earlier in the year. They've crumbled a bit. But if Duke can, that's what keeps you coming back, right? That's golfers out there. You know what it is, right? You could have the worst round of your life. You hit that one flushed 3-wood, run it up onto the green, make the putt. That's what will keep you coming back for life. Duke, I don't know if they have the consistency week in and week out to, really chase something lofty this year. But if they ever flush it, if they ever drive her off the deck, pick it clean, it'd be a pretty special game. And if they put that against the right team, they could do some damage. UConn, they're a good team. They're going to have to play pretty well to beat them. UConn is 6-3, has not lost a game in regulation. They've never been the trailing team at the end of the fourth quarter. 3 losses all in overtime.
It's a bonkers stat when you think about it.
They're UConn's, if you just go to like their college football reference page or whatever it is, college reference page, where it has all their stats, the whole thing feels like you're in a weird funhouse mirror. Quarterback has thrown a bunch of passes, no interceptions. Their defense is they might be second in the country in sacks. Yet they've lost 3 games. They have a pretty much mistake-free offense and a dynamic defensive front. They've lost 3 games, but they haven't lost any in regulation. It's the most confusing team in the country. What number was that? I don't even know. Was it 3? Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us. Jarvis Back for Walker. He scores! Sean Walker's on a heater. Carolina takes the 3-2 lead. Walker's second point of the period and second goal in as many games.
Canes have a back-to-back over the weekend. They play tomorrow at home against Buffalo. Probably travel the next morning.
No, they'll travel right after the game.
Right after the game. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, they'll travel right because you got to go through customs because they're going up to Canada and everything.
At Toronto on Sunday. My point is, just by bringing up travel schedule, is not a lot of time between games.
No.
And you have to already recover in a big way because of how their season is gone. This is a good tester for them. It's a good tester for them. Injuries continue to test them, so that's just an ongoing test. And Jalen Chatfield's availability will likely test them, but we don't want to speculate. So you take a team that's already exhausted mentally and physically. Something as simple as Keandre Miller was back from injury last night. Skated 23 minutes and 13 seconds of hard skating. That's usually not plan A for the guy who's just coming back from injury, but they really didn't have choice, right? They kind of had to do it. And now he gets one day off, then he plays back-to-back with traveling in the middle. This is one of those where, are you tired? Yes. Sorry, got to go back out there. All right, and you better find a way. Right, the forwards, you brought it up. At times, they were skating with, 10 forwards?
Yeah.
Like that, they skated their tails off last night.
Yeah, Stahl got in the fight. So 5 minutes for the fighting, plus a 2-minute instigator, plus a 10-minute misconduct penalty. So 17 minutes in the box. Well, someone had to serve the instigator and all that. Mm-hmm. So Kokaniemi's sitting in the box. Stahl's sitting in the locker room because it was towards the end of the first period. So yeah, you're down to 10 forwards and Chatfield's out. You're down to 10-5. That's
tiring if you have 2 days off, 1 game at home, 2 days off, 1 game at home.
For real.
Super tiring. When you're already, like, as soon as that game ends, you're getting your stuff ready for a back-to-back. So this is one of those gut check times for the Carolina Hurricanes. It's gut check time. Here's Sean Walker, who is one of the few that's playing, like, he's playing lights out. Now, I don't want to say few. There's a handful of them that are playing lights out right now. Sean Walker's one of them, and here he is talking about the injuries.
Yeah, it can be a little challenging for sure. I mean, you're trying to get used to playing with guys. I feel like we haven't really even had the chance yet with all the injuries. But maybe that's making it a little easier because we are just switching it up so often. But yeah, again, just battle. Everybody knows the game plan, so just stuck with it.
Sean Walker is, and I'm using the same analogy I used earlier this year for some of the forwards. He's O negative. Right? He's compatible with everybody. O-negative blood is supposed to be the universal donor, right? Everybody can use it. Sean Walker, put him on the ice. The way he's playing right now, I don't even know if you have to tell him who his defensive pairing partner is, right? Walker and you, get out there. He'll make it work. He's playing really well. And you need guys like that. You need that attitude of, yeah, whoever I'm out there with, we're going to be all right. They did change up lines. We didn't even go really over this. Right before the game, or at least between practice the day before and the game, put Jarvis up on the top line. He had been kind of scheduled to, I don't know if that's the right term, to skate with Stahl and Martinook. So they're going to be shifting things up. They're going to be changing things. They're going to be making things different. The news is no excuses, play like a champion. Rule number 72, Wedding Crashers. No excuses, play like a champion. It's hockey. Also, I do think, and I don't know, maybe this is just me as a fan. I think when you talk about it in like hockey tempo, right? Because they had, like, hockey players have the way they talk, the nicknames, I just think they, we gotta go play. Gotta go out there. It's just they're just matter of fact about it. Like, oh yeah, is our whole team injured? Most of them. Hey, we got to go play. Bring up some of the young guys. They're playing good, playing hard.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see Charles Alexis Legault in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing good. They've been trying hard. It's like, you do realize 4 of your top defensemen have missed kind of significant chunks of time, assuming Chatfield isn't back like this weekend. And you're only 12 games into the year, right? Oh, yeah, not ideal. It's all right, guys. Thanks. I feel like maybe it's because I come from the football world. We'd be much more dramatic about this. if 4 of your starting offensive linemen are out, coaches would be ripping their hair out at the podium. They'd be, I don't know what we're going to do, guys. We've claimed people off a whole bunch of practice squads. We're going to try to figure it out. He's just, we'll figure it out. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Jansen the snap, Martin the hold, Fitzgerald drives the leg, the kick is up, it is good! Ryan Fitzgerald delivers, and Carolina silences Lambeau Field!
Shout out to Ryan Fitzgerald. I didn't get to this earlier in the week, and I probably should have. I think it was The Athletic put out their mid-season all-rookie team. And, of course, I'm looking for Tedero McMillan. I'm looking for Nick Scorton. The way they did it was they just did one player at each position and then a whole bunch of honorable mentions. So the Panthers, Tedero McMillan was not the choice. They went Emeka Egbuka. Nick Scorton was not the choice. I think it was Abdul Carter. They've went with some of the other guys, but kicker, Ryan Fitzgerald, rookie. All rookie team mid-season. Credit to him. He's done well, and as you just heard there, he's kicked some pretty important field goals. So at least it's really funny. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Dennis. Panther fans go from very oh no, until it's a one-score game with 1:30 left, and then they get weirdly overconfident. Right? Bryce Young, he's going to turn it over. Oh, he doesn't have a strong arm. Oh, he can't do this. He gets the ball down 3 at his own 30-yard line with 1:30. Everyone's like, this guy is Joe Montana. He's the best ever. This is it switches in that specific moment for that final drive.
It's interesting because that's how they've won so many games. Yeah. That's what the games that they won over the last couple of years. It's been generally that.
It's oh no. Oh, we're good. Never mind. Fitzgerald got a rookie kicker. You got a quarterback that's thrown for 80 yards on the game. You have to go X amount of yards in X amount of time. And they're just like, no, we're the most confident people on the planet. And then they march down the field and kick the field goal to win.
If they need to drive to get a field goal to win it, they do it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Give them credit. They can do it.
It's just such a funny and then they start preparing their arguments for all week on how, everything worked perfectly and they're awesome and nobody made any mistakes because they won and that's all that matters. Which, if you told me they were going to win back-to-back weeks against the Packers and they were both going to be 16-13 with field goals to win it at the end, I would go, yeah, that makes sense. Does it actually make sense on the surface? No. But for the Carolina Panthers, yeah, it kind of makes sense. They're playing the Saints this weekend. They are favored, meaning the Panthers are favored. The first time they've been favored on the opening.
What?
Yeah. First time they've been favored on the opening line this season. They did close as the favorite against the Jets, but this is the first time all season that from the jump they've been the favorite, and it has worked its way all the way up to, actually it's back to where it opened. They opened as a 5.5-point favorite. It got down to 4.5, back up to 5.5. But you ready for this? Do you know what the over-under total is? 38.5.
Just 38.5?
38.5. Not expecting a shootout, ladies and gentlemen.
So you're looking at literally a 21-17 type game?
That's what the over-under would suggest. 20, actually with 5.5, yeah, 21, 20, 24, 22 if you go for 2 in a weird way. Something to make it, near a touchdown, but not quite. They're predicting ugly is what they're predicting.
Like a 23-16?
But if you ask me who does ugly benefit?
Carolina.
Yeah. I think the uglier the game, the more likely the Panthers win it from this point forward. I think if you get into pretty games, aesthetically pleasing games, the Panthers might be in over their head. But if you say this one's going to be played in, if they could play on grass and have hoses running on the field all night, the night before the game, I think that would hugely benefit the Carolina Panthers. If you said, we're going to play this one in a foot of mud, it'd be perfect. We don't want to throw the ball anyway. We're slogging around 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That'd be A-okay for Carolina Panthers. There is a little bit of news today, which is very rarely any good news that comes out on a Friday for an NFL team. At practice today, Tedero McMillan was limited. First time popping up on the injury report this week. It was a hamstring as it was designated. Here's Dave Canales, the head coach, with the update on his number one wide receiver.
Something popped up in practice, so we shut him down for part of it. He was able to take a few reps, but precautionary. We'll look at him again tomorrow morning, though, just to make sure that he's ready to go.
Any serious concern, or you feel pretty optimistic?
Concern, certainly. So we'll just take a look at him tomorrow and see where he's at, hoping he can go.
Concern. Well, guess what? Because you are, I am, Dave. I'm concerned. If Tedero McMillan can't go, that's a huge blow to the offense. Huge. But maybe they should go, to merge the last two topics we talked about, maybe they should go full hockey with it. Well, next guy's going to step up. I'm going to call up some of the young guys. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need some numbers game contestants because we have 2 more tickets, our final 2 tickets to give away to see Dropkick Murphys at the Ritz on February 14th. Dropkick Murphys on Valentine's Day. If you need plans, we got them for you, but you got to win them. 919-860-5326 is the number to call. We need 2 contestants to play the numbers game and maybe win Dropkick Murphys tickets. Again, here's the number, 919-860-5326. Call in now to play the numbers game. It's coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Man, it started off rough for Dan Campbell. He was able to right the ship. One day we started out 0-10-1. Everybody was going back to the introductory press conference, talking about how awkward it was, being a kneecap biter and all of that stuff. Now everybody loves that stuff. Just give it time to fully bake when it comes to Aaron Glenn. He can't go winless, but I think Aaron Glenn finds a way to keep his job going into 2026.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
At Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford, we've got 3 great brands under one roof and deals that will get you in the driver's seat today. We've got the perfect new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for you. Family owned for over 70 years, we treat you like one of our own with friendly service, honest deals, and a commitment that keeps our customers coming back. Plus, state-of-the-art service and collision centers to keep you rolling. Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC. Visit us in Sanford or at wilkinsoncars.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. During hockey season, I'm bouncing from coast to coast like a puck on ice. But when I'm back in town, I always head to Buffalo Brothers for the best wings on the planet. And check this out. Now they have a new flavor, chili lime. You can't beat the great specials at all 5 Triangle locations, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6. You can dine in or carry out. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been with the program for over 3 months now at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And as I told you in previous weeks, I've hit 40 pounds lost. Now I'm at 42. I've lost a couple more pounds thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. My goal is to hit 50. I want to lose 50 pounds. And the best thing about the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program is an actual plan for you to follow. They lay it all out there for you. I know a lot of people struggle trying to figure out the best plan for them, or do I go this way? Do I go that way? These yo-yo diets, whatever it is. Raleigh Weight Loss Center, here's a plan. Follow it. Stick with it. You can see results. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that could be the case. 42 pounds down in 3 months. Thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com, 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The prize for today, we have tickets to see Dropkick Murphys on Valentine's Day at the Ritz. The contestants for today, Pace and Bailey, and John and Raleigh. They will compete in jersey number trivia to find out who gets the tickets. As always, we'll ask the same question to both, see which one Dennis chooses as his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. We'll start with Pace and Bailey. Pace, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. The question for you is, we're about to go into the weekend. What are you looking forward to most about this weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
I got to say I'm looking forward to the Jags to get back on track Sunday, continue their winning ways as of late.
The Jags, you said, like the Jaguars?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Okay. No, that's all. Don't apologize for your fandom, at least not for the Jags. There are some teams I would ask you to apologize for. The Jags, they're solid enough. We'll go to John and Raleigh. John and Raleigh, you're up next. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. Same question to you. What are you looking forward to most about this weekend? But because we're a sports show, find a way to make it sports related.
I'm going to the Panthers game. It's my first game there since Cam's not been the QB, so pretty excited about that.
All right. Dennis, any follow-ups? Nope. All right. Pace and John, your answers are locked in. Dennis, you get to choose. The Jags playing well or John going to his first Panther game since Cam was the quarterback?
First of all, I'm going to say Pace, being a Jags fan, congrats to you. That you're a real fan because that team, that franchise has stunk for so many years. And the fact that you stuck with them, I will give you 100% kudos on that.
You didn't bail when Urban Meyer happened. There's some loyalty stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That is true loyalty and fandom. But I'm sticking with the Carolina Panthers. Exactly. I'm sticking with the Carolina Panthers and John on this one. But at least the Panthers, not 10 years ago, whatever it was, in a Super Bowl, you had a superstar in Cam Newton. But man, Jacksonville has been the dregs of the NFL for a long, long time.
They had a random Bortles conference championship year, right? Yeah. It feels like a fever dream. Either way, John and Raleigh gets to go first. Pace, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to stay on hold. John, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right. The categories are NFL players from the state of Massachusetts, NFL players who are one time or another Mitch Trubisky's teammates, NBA players that are all Europeans, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Can I do NFL players from the state of Massachusetts?
You can absolutely do NFL players from the state of Massachusetts. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
I do not.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens.
81.
Incorrect. Will Levis, Tennessee Titans.
7.
Incorrect. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens.
82.
Incorrect. Will Levis, Tennessee Titans.
8.
Correct. Noah Gray, Kansas City Chiefs.
52.
Incorrect. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens.
83.
Incorrect. Noah Gray, Kansas City Chiefs.
82.
Incorrect. Isaiah Likely, Baltimore Ravens. You knew Likely was in the 80s somewhere, didn't you?
I did.
You started at 81 and you worked your way up, right?
Yes.
You should have started at 80. You started one too high and we're working in the further direction. 80 is the number we were looking for Likely. You did get 8 for Levis, so you avoided the shutout. Noah Gray, a Duke guy, 83 with Kansas City. So you got one. Like I said, you avoided the shutout. You're the leader in the clubhouse. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay.
That one happened in like slow motion. It was like I knew he was moving further and further away, and there was nothing I could do. Just, bloop. Anyway, that brings us to Pace and Bailey. Pace, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL, Mitch Trubisky's teammates at some time or another, NBA players that are all from Europe, all European players, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go with Mitch Trubisky teammates.
Okay. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need at least 2 for the win. Any questions before we get rolling?
No, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I like that. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Khalil Shakir, Buffalo Bills.
10.
Correct. Cam Hayward, Pittsburgh Steelers.
97.
Correct. Tariq Cohen, Chicago Bears.
29.
Correct. Jalen Warren, Pittsburgh Steelers.
30.
Correct. Dawson Knox, Buffalo Bills.
84.
Incorrect. Dawson Knox, Buffalo Bills.
88.
Correct. Perfect score. That is a Great run through things.
21 seconds.
Not our fastest, but Tariq Cohen is a good pull. Cam Hayward, Khalil Shakir off the rip, just first guesses. Those are good pulls right there. So congratulations. You are a perfect score winner.
Thank you, sir. That's my second this year for those keeping score at home.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Now he's just bragging.
Yeah.
Now you're just bragging.
Well, you know what? Never mind. It's not that impressive if it's not your first one. You're just good at this. 21 seconds, that's slow for you. No, actually, that's really impressive. That was a really good numbers game. Great way to end the week. You are the winner. You get the Dropkick Murphys tickets. All you have to do is stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, our first perfect score since October the 23rd. So we're looking at about just over 2 weeks. 15 days since we had our last perfect score.
That is there's an interesting deal there. That was good. Tariq Cohen, my cousin and my podcast co-host Mike Glennon played with him in Chicago. So I know about Tariq Cohen. I remember watching Tariq Cohen quite a bit. I have no idea what number he wore. I knew it was like a generic running back number. It wasn't like, a single digit. It wasn't in the 80s. I knew it was 20s, 30s, maybe low 40s. But to know 29 off the rip.
Local to the area.
Yeah, that's true, too.
Went to Bunn High School,
Yep.
Bunn, North Carolina. So
Yep.
local to the area. Went to NC Central.
That's true as well. So maybe someone around here followed his career closely as well. But that's real. That's really real. I get more excited for a perfect score than anybody else out there. He's like, well, thank you. Meanwhile, I'm here yelling, it's a perfect score. Way to go. Either way, congratulations to the caller, and it's a good way to send us into the weekend. If you are interested in playing the numbers game, you want the rush of a perfect score, feel free to jump into the call-in line next week. We play the numbers game every day here on The Drive about 5:30. So get ready. We'll have a new prize for next week as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. My wife has some company in town this weekend, some of her friends, and with that comes a little extra reliance on the house, right? When you have company, you want the heating, the cooling, the plumbing, the electric to work perfectly, right? You got enough to prepare for you. Don't want to have to worry about the house. Maynard Service Company, let them worry about the house. Anything not working right, the plumbing, you hear drip you shouldn't hear, the hot water isn't working, whatever it is. Maynard Service Company is there for you. It is a great time to call Maynard Service Company and start up that relationship as well, right? You don't only want to call them when things are going horrendous, right? When there's an emergency in the middle of the night, although you should keep the number for that reason, right? 24/7 service all across the triangle. So keep the number for that reason, but also get them in there for some maintenance. If at the first sign of trouble, have them come check it out rather than waiting till, disaster strikes. So give them a call. 919-361-0993 in an emergency or to set up maintenance. 919-361-0993 or visit them online at maynardservices.com, MAYNOR services.com. We'll take a break. When we come back, send you off into the weekend the correct way, the only way we know how, and that's by making a whole bunch of picks. Stick around.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Football season is here, and you can watch all the games at one of USA Today's 10 best sports bars, Carolina Ale House. With a massive beer selection, wall-to-wall TVs, and our award-winning wings, you'll never miss a play. Add in our lineup of homemade favorites, and you've got the best seat in the house. Bring your friends, bring your appetite, and help us create that nationally recognized game day atmosphere all season long at Carolina Ale House. Wings, beer, sports, repeat. Ale, yeah.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. There's a lot of games over the weekend. Speaking of the Canes games, they have back-to-backers tomorrow night at home against Buffalo, 7 p.m. Sunday night on the road at Toronto, 7 p.m. You can hear them both right here on 99.9 The Fan. You can also hear them on the 99.9 The Fan app. You can take the game right there with you in your pocket. But you got to download the app if you haven't done so already. We encourage you to do so. Google Play Store, App Store, whichever one you're rolling with, depending on your phone. We would encourage you to download it, and we'd appreciate it if you do so.
We have a lot of play-by-play this weekend, obviously, like you mentioned with the Canes and all that this weekend. But let's also not forget, tomorrow, men's basketball on Buzz Sports Radio, Duke men's basketball, that is. So we have that along with college football, Duke football taking on Connecticut. That's over on Buzz Sports Radio. Tomorrow we have ECU takes on Charlotte right here on The Fan. That's a 2 o'clock pregame, 3 o'clock kick. And then also on Sunday, we have Falcons and Colts right here early in the morning. That's the game out in Berlin. Then we also have New England and Tampa Bay. So all you Drake May fans out there, you can listen to 1 o'clock kickoff. And that all leads up, like you said, we have Canes and Leafs on Sunday evening. And then we'll join, actually on Buzz Sports Radio, the Chargers and the Steelers on Sunday night as well.
Beautiful.
And we have Canes cornerback on Monday with Nikolai Ehlers.
Let's go. We should have mentioned that earlier. Nikolai Ehlers. I talked about this yesterday. You want to get to know the Canes, right? You want to know them when you're rooting for them. You want to know a little bit about them. You want to know what makes them tick, what their background is. And Nikolai Ehlers, even though this season has felt at times like months and months and months, it's still fairly new, right? He's just now getting into a little bit of a scoring groove. I mean, what timing, right? He goes, the first 10 games without scoring a goal, scores goals in back-to-back games. Let's have him on Canes corner, even though it was scheduled before he started scoring. It's a little kismet that way. So
maybe that's what he needed.
Oh, he needed to be told Canes corner was coming?
Exactly. Hey, Canes corner's coming up. We need you.
I'll tell you what, if he scores in each of the games over the weekend, I think we should petition to make him come to every Canes corner.
Absolutely.
Then it's just he's a permanent guest. It's just he's now the Canes corner guy. If I'm not superstitious, but I'm also not one to tempt fate. If the streak is going, we gotta do what you can.
Just keep it rolling.
There you go.
So yes, that's going to be on Monday, 7 o'clock. That's live at the local. Mike Maniscalco hosting. You can obviously go watch it live at the local. You can listen to it on the Fan. You can listen it through the app, or you can watch it on our YouTube live stream as well. So make sure you subscribe and download in all the places. We got you covered, fam.
Beautiful. And now with so many games to go, we better get into picks. We got a lot of them to make.
We have a lot of picks to make. And actually, Tim, let's go ahead and start with tonight. This is a big college basketball game. Top 25 matchup. We have UNC at home taking on Kansas. UNC at home, 2.5-point favorites in this one, Tim.
I've learned, and this is personal, not like in making pick segments, but in my personal gambling life. College sports, especially sports like basketball where they play a lot of games, I do everything I can to not place too many bets the first 4 or 5 games. Because with the transfer portal, you don't really know what these teams are yet, right? You trust the experts a little bit to say this grouping of players are going to be good. I'm optimistic about UNC, but I really don't know, right? I'm optimistic about Luka Bogovic because everyone's told me to be optimistic about him. I haven't really watched him play much outside of their first game. He's been playing in Europe. So I am optimistic. As far as making a pick, I'm going to take UNC at home. I think that quiet confidence thing has sold me. They seem like they know something that the rest of us don't. So I'll take UNC. I say they win by 6.
Okay, UNC at home by 6. Something we haven't really talked about yet, which I think might actually help Carolina in this one, obviously other than Bogovac's actually playing. Remember for an exhibition game, they went to a top 10 opponent on the road to play BYU. Hey, we're going to test ourselves even before we get to Kansas and say, hey, let's go play one of the top teams in the country. And do it in a road environment. And
Caleb Wilson played great in that game, even in the loss.
He did. So they can tell themselves, hey, guys, we've faced this level of talent. You shouldn't panic in a situation like this. I think that's going to pay dividends for them. Give me Carolina in a close one here. Have them winning by 4.
Okay. Yep. And you know, it's a free throw contest at the end. 4, 6, 8. A lot of that's just free throws down the stretch.
All right, over tonight, over on Mix 101.5. 9 o'clock tip-off. Game's at the Lenovo Center. NC State takes on UAB tonight. They're 19.5-point favorites at home.
I believe Will Wade knows what a statement is, and he likes to make them. I think they win this one by a bunch. The spread, 19.5, 20.5, I think they win by 30. I think they keep the pedal to the floor. They want their I think Will Wade at the end of this season wants to look at his schedule and have it be eye-popping. So when they can, they're going to splash. So give me State by 30.
Okay, I was on the similar type lines. Give me State by like 26.
All right.
Hey, at that point, we're splitting hairs.
Paul McNeil hits a couple threes at the end.
Yeah.
Actually, he might not be in at the end. Paul McNeil hits a couple threes right before he gets taken out of the game to make the difference.
I'm curious to see what Matt Abel, the freshman, does in his second game. Because he popped against NC Central. I'm curious to see, okay, what do you do next? Not that he has to go out and score 20 points or something along those lines, but can you be consistent?
He was like 10 or 12 points, six rebounds, 4 assists, something like that.
He was outstanding.
But even the eye test, I think he popped physically more than he did statistically. So I'm expecting big things from him.
For real. All right, tomorrow, let's actually go to the hardwoods as well. 1:30 tip-off out in Durham. Duke takes on Western Carolina. There is no spread on this one.
Yeah, I think they win by as much as John Shire wants to win by. What I would look for more is how they do it. Can Patrick Ungba play really good defense instead of foul trouble? Can Cam Boozer do it from the opening tip like he did not do against Texas? I want their bench to score more. Their bench was relatively quiet against Texas. These are all very nitpicky things, but it'll be a big win for Duke.
Yeah, it's not going to be close.
That's
hard.
It.
I don't.
And I say this about football. I don't like betting on decisions. When the spread is like 40 in football, I go, well, whether they win by 35 or 42 is a decision by the head coach of the team that's winning, right? Do you let your backups when they're in there in the fourth quarter push it downfield, or do you run and take knees? I don't like betting on decisions, so I likely won't bet on anything in this game on with my own money.
All right, next one. Let's actually go to the gridiron. Let's actually go to Chapel Hill tomorrow. UNC at home, favored against Stanford. Let me check the line on that.
I'm picking UNC. Yeah. I mean, I'm picking UNC, and I'll pick them by a touchdown, and that has as much to do with Stanford's offense not being great and it being a good matchup for UNC, meaning bad offense against really good defense, or at least really good over the last 3 games defense for UNC. I expect this to be low scoring. I expect it to be gross, and I expect it to be a win by 7-10 for UNC.
UNC is favored by 7.5 points.
How about that?
And like you said earlier, Stanford has one of the worst scoring offenses the worst scoring offense in the ACC.
17.8 points on average, and UNC has done a pretty good job of keeping teams well below their average.
Yeah, give me Carolina in this one. I think they actually win this one comfortable, kind of like Syracuse, maybe not by as high of a margin, but I'll take Carolina 21-10 in this one.
I would not. If it were, I might go 27-10, which is the exact score of Syracuse.
That's
and
fair.
They're just playing out the script. They're just DeMond June, big game. Like it could be that kind of game.
All right, Duke is on the road at UConn. You can listen to that over on Buzz Sports Radio. Duke, 9.5-point favorites on the road taking on the Huskies.
Yeah, I think Duke wins. I give UConn strange amounts of credit. I can't explain them. Their stats and their season are a riddle. The only game I've watched of UConn is they played my Delaware Blue Hens and lost in overtime to the Blue Hens. But that was like a 43-41 game, so they scored in that even. Duke wins. I don't think they cover.
Yeah, I think Duke wins this one. It's high scoring. I think they win this one 37-31.
I don't even know if it's that. I think the 31-24, something along those lines. Not many punts. Actually, maybe punts. I don't know. UConn obviously has me in a pretzel. Normally, I'm very confident, and at least I have some idea of how a game I think is going to play out. UConn they leave me flabbergasted. I don't know.
All right, let's go to the ice tomorrow. The Buffalo Sabres.
Also, flabbergasted was the wrong word there. They just have me in a pretzel, so I'm using vocabulary incorrectly.
Okay. Pretty flabbergasted that you understood what that meant.
Yeah.
All right, the Buffalo Sabres come into the Lenovo Center tomorrow. The Sabres, they stink. They're tied for the worst record in the entire Eastern Conference, at least in terms of points. They're bad. But the Sabres come into the Lenovo Center tomorrow to take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Canes heavily favored in this one.
Yeah, I think the Canes win. I think it's an opportunity to get some momentum started. But I also there are some things Buffalo does well. Don't they're not a bunch of bad players. Dennis, should they be scouting? How about that? Should they be trade deadline scouting? Should they be a little nicer to certain guys who might have no trade clauses and things like? Hey, you'll waive it for us, right? I didn't put you into the boards over there in the corner. You'll remember that, right?
Alex Tuck gets to his hotel and wait a second. Why is there catering here?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is there $1,000 for me to get whatever food I want?
When the Canes have a 4-1 lead, why did they wink at me and then give me the right side of the goal? Like, what is going on here? I think the Canes win. I think it's 4-2.
I'm with you, 4-2 in this one. Then on Sunday, they actually go on the road to take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto, actually one of the, obviously pretty solid team. They're currently sitting at 17 points on the season, 1 point back of the Boston Bruins and the Detroit Red Wings right there in the Atlantic Division. Tougher opponent going on the road to Toronto.
On the road, second half of a back-to-back, banged up, tired team against a good opponent. This one's going to be tough. This one's a gut check. This one is round 11 of a boxing fight. It's a want-to thing. I've already predicted a big game from Sebastian Aho. I think he'll sense the moment and realize he needs to lead from the front. A couple of goals from Aho. They win 4-3.
Okay, I actually have them losing Toronto 4-3.
That's respectable. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think they split this weekend. And you know what? And that's okay. That's okay.
Do we know who's in net for this? Have they?
We've not. They didn't practice today. Yeah. Honestly, it would not surprise me with Freddie Anderson going yesterday. It would not surprise me if we see both Pyotr Kochetkov and Brandon Bussey start this weekend. That's just a gut feeling. You have three, use them.
I've been in so many debates over the last few years of the 1-1 rotation. 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. Just to keep three people rotating through. Keep them all super fresh.
Hey, if you got 3 games in 4 days,
1 and 1 and 1 and back to the front, and 1 and 1 and 1 and back to the front.
I don't hate it at all. All right, let's actually go to the gridiron on Sunday. The Carolina Panthers are on the road. Actually, I'm going to take that back. It's a home game. Yeah. They've been playing too many what feels like road games at home at Bank of America Stadium, but the Carolina Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. By the way, I expect the bank to be packed for this one.
I hope so.
I genuinely think that fans are going to show out for the simple fact that, wait a second, we actually might have something going here. Carolina Panthers, the line has spread, or the spread has kind of adjusted a little bit at times, depending on what time of the week you've got. But right now, I see it. Carolina Panthers are 5.5-point favorites at home over the Saints.
Do you know what's crazy? And I just brought up the stat right here. Coming from Konami Football Analysis. They have the list of the most frequently used 5 offensive linemen for each team by percentage. The most frequently used 5 for Carolina: Ickey, Lewis, Mays, Christensen, Moten. 20.5% of plays. That's dead last. They've had the least stable offensive line in the league.
I believe it.
I think regardless of who's playing offensive line, they run for a bunch of yards. They win 24-17 over the Saints. What do you have? Give us a score. Quick.
Give me the Carolina Panthers in this one, 21-17.
There you go. That is the drive for a week. We have Overdrive coming up next. We'll start Canes, then go to Panthers. Thank you to all for starting your weekend with us. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $800 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10 by 10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Mega Millions jackpot is over $800 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 291 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
At First Carolina Bank, we pride ourselves on building relationships and doing the day-to-day things in banking extremely well. Experience the First Carolina way for yourself or your business today. Visit firstcarolinabank.com. First Carolina Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and as the Carolina Hurricanes shoot for their 8th consecutive playoff appearance, that's right, 8 in a row, that's not the goal. I should remind you, the goal is being, as Rod Brindamore likes to say, the last team standing. What do they need? Who will get them there? You know where you can find the answers on every episode of the Canes Corner podcast, live on YouTube after games, and wherever you get your podcast. Rate, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.